Hello, hello.
Hey, chat. Someone else say something again? I want to check to see if the desktop audio works again.
Something else again.
Yay! Alright. People have been complaining about everyone but me being inaudible, so we are turning up the desktop audio and turning down my mic. Because this is, surprise, I'm not the GM tonight, but we're still running the stream through my computer. So chat, feel free to tell us how unbalanced the sound is at any given point. I am paying attention. I swear. I think. Hi. Anyway, over
Seems
to
all right for now, but yeah, we'll keep an eye on it.
over to Merc because she is running tonight. Woohoo!
Yep, I am the Demon Master for tonight. Tonight we are playing Demon Hunters, a comedy of terrors. A fate accelerated system that's mixed with Cortex into a thing called Faith Core. I have the fancy book here, but there is available for there are less fancy books available as well. Um, Demon Hunters, a comedy of terrors is a pretty fast and loose system, and by fast and loose I mean it's we're making this up on the go, and it may be more obvious tonight than it is on other nights. So, let's introduce our characters. And we'll start with Shay, the black and white.
Okay.
Which
Hi,
is sort
I'm
of my
Dracus. I'm playing Shay. I have chosen to be in black and white tonight because last time we played Demon Hunters, I lost my flesh bag and I am now a ghost. So, I wrote up an entire new sheet for Shay as a ghost, which I was already kind of working on anyway. And we'll see how this goes.
So this is an interesting question about Brotherhood canon. So, according to the canon, Brotherhood of the Celestial Torch, if you die in glorious battle, or at least you work with them, you get to go to the afterlife of your choice. Is this Shay's afterlife of choice, in which they continue
I
working
think
for
yes.
the Brotherhood?
Yeah, I mean, they're the loser college student who wanted to go do this anyway. And now, if they can spend eternity doing it, well, cool, okay. And, well, there's a chance they can find the flesh bag or some other alternative method of interacting with the world again.
I'd like to repeat what I told Shay, or I told Drac privately last week and publicly, like, the Lost Flesh Bag can just be a New York setting thing, and they can keep playing Shay as normally. It was like, nope, I would like to level up my character, or level down, or level sideways, because this is the flexibility you get in Faith Core. It's like, I would like my character to be a ghost now. Done. Woo. And I guess that leaves me. I'm at Ms. Chrysala on various social medias, including Twitter and Insta. But I'm playing Kathy Blexbrit, who is the librarian Filker accidentally turned the Cantor of Cthulhu. Cthulhu really likes puns, guys. Like really. Like human sacrifice, he could give or take. Puns, Cthulhu likes puns. And in a minute, I forgot Grover. I will get my emotional support shrug off. So yeah,
I think the Pretzel Rocks bot is going nuts.
No, it's just that the when I put it on the jazz station, it only gets 2 tracks. Because I put in the parameters YouTube safe or not DMC. It's DMC safe and no lyrics, which leaves us 2 tracks. But I think both tracks are very like Demon Hunters appropriate and like Zoe derivative appropriate. So
fair enough.
I can turn off Pretzel if you want.
I can't hear it, so it's fine.
Okay. So yes.
Yes.
And
Grover.
So, Merc, do you want to talk about what they can buy with channel points and or monies tonight?
So, first I think we'll go into a little bit of how Demon Hunters works. So, Demon Hunters, the way you play Demon Hunters is you You set up your character. It's rather a bit like Fate in that you have aspects, personal aspects. You have your discipline, trouble, and you have your concept and your trouble, and you have a couple of disciplines that apply to you. And then you have approaches and disciplines. Approaches and disciplines each have a dice size value associated with them. For every roll our players will make tonight, they will roll at least 2 dice. One approach and 1 discipline. However, they also have 3d6 called faith dice, which I will pull out these. They have faith dice, which they can use to tap aspects of both themselves and the situation. So, for instance, if Shay wanted to tap their aspect of unsupervised necromancer, I think it is, then they
unsupervised occultist, but
huh?
it's unsupervised occultist, but yeah.
Close. Then they could add an extra d6 to their roll. So they each have a limited number of faith dice to do that. With the channel points game, you can buy them extra faith dice that they can add to their rolls if they can justify it to me. You gotta sell it to me, baby. So that's one of the things you can do. And then if they don't like their faith dice are important because they can only be added before they roll. So before they roll, they have to decide how many faith dice they want to spend on this roll, and then they roll them along with their approach and discipline dice. They can still spend faith dice after they roll to re-roll their approach or discipline die, but they can't roll the d6 faith die extra along with it. Where'd it go? Heck with it. Disappeared. Okay. However, if they still don't like their roll after they have finished spending faith dice and they've rolled all the dice they were going to roll, if they still don't like their die rolls, they can add demon dice. Demon dice are specialty Battletech set that I got in the Kickstarter. But if they can roll demon dice are temptations. They are power at a price. Once a player uses a demon dice, it goes to me. I use demon dice like they use faith dice. I declare them before the roll, I tap various things for them, and I can spend them on certain stunts. So then once they roll them, they come to me. However, you as the chat can buy me demon dice directly. I start with 2 today because I have 2 players. So if you feel like messing with your fine cast here, then by all means, buy me some demon dice. It is worth noting that when a demon dice is rolled by a player, its value is always added to their total. If they roll a 1, bad shit happens immediately.
Like they lose their flesh bag.
Yeah. Just, for an example.
Or more specifically, the identification card that they thought was in their flesh bag's pocket was actually in the duffel bag with their sword that their teammate had hold of. And thus a flesh bag was lost. By the way, our communal faith dice pool is now 11 because I also have channel points to burn, and well, how'd y'all like that? I'll let you all do that during
If you want to play that game, I can play that game.
Y'all have been playing that game with me for months.
Can you take on both of us at the same time?
I have never played that game with you.
Okay.
I messed with you once when I asked for Mary Lloyd to show up to the party on Eden, but
which was very entertaining.
That was pretty funny.
And ironically, kind of appropriate given the character of the mayor, who was dressed up as Mary Lloyd, and its whole thing. Anyway.
Yeah. But if you want to play that game, I have 16,000 channel points to say I can play that game.
I currently have 26,000.
I have more than both of you.
I believe it. But but you're saving your points up to play that game with Yoda.
Or whoever.
Fair.
I'm surprised Yoda hasn't started yet. I guess he's busy tonight. Whoops. He works Saturdays also, so.
C'est la vie. But yeah, that's pretty much it. While you can play longer Demon Hunters campaigns, we mostly play one shots here, which is helpful with the fact that these books contain 5 minutes to mayhem tables, which I don't have bookmarked. Oh, they're there. 5 minutes to mayhem tables. You just roll on them in 5 minutes, and you've got an entire adventure, at least one shot. I didn't do that tonight because I've been planning something similar to this for a while, but it's possible to do, and it's pretty entertaining.
It's gone well.
At this point, I think most of the Demon Hunters games I've run in this channel have been from the dice tables, plus like New York City Google search.
Yep. But today we are not in New York City. Instead, today the players who are part of a team called Omega 97. It's worth noting the Brotherhood is broken up into Greek letters. So each tier of badasses, essentially, has a Greek letter associated with it, and then its place in the alphabet determines how many teams there are. So there is only Alpha 1. Alpha 1 is the only Alpha squad because it's the first letter and it's only one. Beta has 2, Beta 1 and Beta 2, and so on and so forth. The exception to this is Omega. Omega is the last letter in the Greek alphabet, and as such, there are no limits on how many Omega teams there are. Omega teams get all the scut work. Cleanup jobs, scouting, going for food, filing, cleaning the warehouse, that kind of thing. If there's a job nobody else wants to do, it gets assigned to an Omega team. Omega teams are used by the Brotherhood to kind of, it's not quite an interview, it's not quite a field test, it's a little bit of both. But if you live long enough in an Omega, you'll get promoted eventually. I mean, spaces open up in higher teams all the time. But it is worth noting that while Death and Glorious Battle does guarantee you the entry to the afterlife of your choice as a member of the Brotherhood, if you live long enough to retire, the benefits are also very nice.
There's retirement benefits? Wait, no.
Yeah, there. If you live long enough.
All they told me was, okay, fill out Form 47B to give us permission in advance to hunt you down if you go insane and evil. Which I did fill out.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Shay also had to fill that one out.
Oh, did I? I just kind of looked at things and signed them.
In the Brotherhood, in the 80s, the Brotherhood started getting like, okay, if the sorcerers and supernatural creatures want to work for the side of good, we'll let them. But not everyone's tolerant, shall we say. But no, it's Form 47B. It's very handy. Get your affairs in order in advance.
They handed me a stack of papers this thick at the end of a very long weekend, so I'm not entirely sure what all I looked at there, gonna be honest.
I completely believe that Shay Tealbeard an entire hiring process.
Oh, yeah.
So.
And our chapter, I guess, that we're gonna be playing on and off for these one-shot games and our rotating cast of GMs. Josh has also decided our unofficial designation is Psi Phi. Because we are, and our team aspect is who's the nerd now? Because we're all very clearly nerdy eye characters, and I am on board for this.
Fair enough.
I'm bored!
Arthur's the fighter.
He's the SCA fighter.
And Shay's the dead one. So, tonight we start with Omega 97. You have gotten a new assignment. You're not sure where the rest of your teammates went, because it's, not unusual for Omega teams to I mean, they get scut work, so sometimes people don't want to do the scut work. You can't find them anywhere. They can't be given the assignment. So your
Sometimes they
assignment
just
today
conveniently disappear.
conveniently disappear. Yeah, convenient discorporation.
Or there could also just be a con this weekend, which is part of why Josh's character is not here.
Yeah, that too. SCA convention, that kind of thing.
That's us.
So
Hmm.
There was
that's
a
why
con
they're
this
gone.
weekend. They're not here. It's fine.
Any which way, it's just you two, and you received a new assignment. There is a Brotherhood facility. Facility is a strong word. It's a warehouse they rented and put a bunch of equipment and mad scientists in to keep them out of the way and keep them from blowing up the main facilities. So this is kind of, you know, where they put people so they can't hurt themselves or others. But it's in Sanger, Texas, which is 20 minutes north of Denton and approximately 45 minutes to an hour north of Dallas.
Is this about the same kind of general geographic part of Texas where that group of sentient cars had to break up a robot builder? Shenanigans?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
Maybe.
I
Very
might have read
strong.
that case file.
Very
I
strong,
think
maybe.
I heard about that one too.
I mean, to be fair, the exploits of Omnicron 11 often make the rounds after they finish because it's a reasonably unusual chapter, and people like hearing about what they get up to.
Yeah, unusual.
It's almost like reading a. It's almost like seeing a cheap Fast and Furious movie. You know.
And it's kind of hard to be a weird team in the Brotherhood. To be fair, like it's difficult to stand out. Like we're all freaks here.
Yeah, but they manage it, and also one of the other Omega teams, you're not sure who, has started taking dash cam footage and cutting it together into movies from that team. So there's actual, you know, there are episodes on the Brotherhood database if you know where to look for them, and if you've got the right kind of cipher, you can get them to either project it or download it for you. But
Whoever makes these is my hero.
who knows? But so yes, so you saw the cut together dashcam footage of that particular Omega 76 interlude. No, Omega 76. Sorry, Omega 76 is an entirely different one, who is also a very unique team. But no, Omnicron 11 is the that team. So far, Omega 76 hasn't had any adventures yet. Omega 76 is the Omega team I'm making that's just Muppets.
I forgot about that.
Haven't done the adventures with them yet.
Yes, you playtested one of those in my off-stream game, and it's like, yes.
Yes.
Oh, the answer's always yes. Anywho.
Sorry. Yes. So
we're in Texas.
we are in Texas. You are in Sanger, Texas. It's a small town. The largest building is the Baptist Church, and it's reasonably quiet. But you're headed into the facility there. It says, warehouse. Warehouse is a strong word. It's a couple of units in a self-storage facility.
And it's not the warehouse.
No, it's not the warehouse. It's just a place they put these people so they could conduct experiments in relative peace and quiet. But more importantly, so we wouldn't have to look at them every day.
I mean,
So
we're Omegas, we've all been there.
Yep. You have been called out to investigate the mystery of who keeps eating all the snacks out of the snack machine.
Because it's apparently not the scientists?
No. It's so you arrive on site. Your briefing was just go to Sanger. We have a facility there. They're having a problem. It's their snack machine. So you have arrived in Sanger, and you have found the storage area, and you are here to receive more instructions about your assignment.
Okay. So is Shane? So I think my highest discipline is on my character sheet. This is Mystic Arts. Can I just see Shay? now that Shay is permaghost, or do I need to roll for that?
I think that's at Shay's discretion.
I was
Okay.
kind of thinking I can be at least a little visible sometimes,
Okay.
just to make
Just to
things
be
simpler
clear.
on the other
Just
players.
to be clear. Just to be clear.
Yeah. Yeah. That was horrible, thanks.
More puns, please.
You set it up. You set it up so well. Okay, so you and Shay have arrived at the facility. What would you like to do first? You know that your assignment involves the snack machine.
Okay, I guess, well, is there someone in charge here that we're supposed to talk to first? Since I'm assuming, someone called the Brotherhood main, HQ or head office and is like, someone, send us Omegas to investigate this problem. So
Yes.
is there a specific point of contact?
1 second.
Because also what's nice is it sounds like this is just our people and not a civilian situation with a secret Brotherhood agent, so we could just be Brotherhood.
Yep, 1 second.
And yeah, so we're just gonna look for whoever's in charge. And
so, you were told the person in charge is a person named Helen White.
Helen White?
Yes. So Helen White is, when you reach the facility, Helen White is not waiting for you. She is instead in her office. Her office is one entire self-storage unit that's set up to look like an office, kind of when you open the door. There's evidence that she does do some experiments in here, but it's pretty much just an office. Excuse me, are you the Omega team?
Yes. My name is...
You were supposed to be here 20 minutes ago.
Okay. Well, we had some trouble finding the place, and also my teammate is partially invisible.
I can see that, thanks. No,
oh,
it's
can
the
you?
Only
Thank goodness.
It's the glasses. It's the only self-storage place in town. I don't know how you had such a problem finding it. I mean, it's not like this is like a big city or anything like that. So really, it's no excuse. It's really not.
All right. So what seems to be the problem?
The snack machine is empty. The snack machine has remained empty for the last week.
Okay. So
you realize what unacceptable this is? My blood sugar could drop at any time and I wouldn't have any snacks.
At this point, the tentacle that is coming out of my backpack, because my backpack is a shapeshifted Shoggoth's like, do I eat her? Do I eat her? And she's like, stop. Not now.
Please keep your tentacle horrors on a short leash, okay? There are some very sensitive experiments around here, and we don't need that kind of energy messing with it.
Okay. Did you order to have the snack machine refilled?
I did. The man can't refilled it. The next day it was empty again. We did this 3 days, and then I stopped it myself. I thought maybe he was just taking the snacks instead of, stopping the machine, only stopping the first one. People were emptying out overnight or something like that. No, I stopped it myself. I went and I got boxes from the warehouse, and I filled it with, the kind of snacks that I need. And the next day it was empty again. This is unacceptable.
Okay, and you've controlled for all of the experiments going on. Anything?
Yes.
Nothing, no teleportation, no portal technology.
No. We're not researching that kind of stuff. We're looking into how energy fields interact with the supernatural. So none of our research has anything to do with like teleportation or moving stuff or people. Shay, can you roll Mystic Art something or other? Your choice.
Okay. We'll do a clever Mystic Arts. I assume this is trying to double tens. Okay, that's just a 20 then.
Okay. Damn,
She's
son.
everywhere.
Okay. So I'm gonna switch glasses because this is gonna give me a headache. Give me a second. The focal distance is just a little bit off on those, which I don't wear very often.
I have a pair like that I also use for this sort of purpose.
Yeah. But so what happened? So when she says that, second, sorry. So when she says that, you realize that you've been feeling something, and so that prompts you to kind of like reach out with your ghost senses on the ghost spectrum, whatever. And what you find is that while so when you die in glorious battle, you do get the access to the afterlife of your choice, which for you kind of, while this is not technically an afterlife, you always could feel the pathways that were open to various avenues of other places, other planes of existence, Shangri-La or whatever. You've been able to feel those pathways and certain other planes beyond the physical. Now that you're reaching for them, you can't find them. They're not there. Or something more accurately, something is blocking them in such a fashion that's kind of like if it were a radio, it would be static. Since they're paths, it's kind of like mystic fog. You feel like if you tried to go through it, you would either get very lost. You'd probably get very lost without without being extremely focused on where you were going. If it makes any sense. And with a 20, go ahead and get an aspect of arcane energy bullshit with 2 free invokes on it.
But I have not noticed any of this because A, I'm alive, I think.
Yes.
B, I am, tapping into my lifetime of customer service to deal with this point person.
Yes.
And
yes,
not
you are.
strangle her.
or feed her to your Shoggoth. So, yes. I don't know what's going on, but it's definitely a problem.
Okay.
And because you're here, it's your problem.
Indeed.
Thanks.
Show us to the snack machine.
Right. Follow me. She gets up and she walks out, and she's dressed in office casual, but like obnoxious office casual.
I don't know. I live in New York. You'll have to be more specific about how it can be obnoxious.
So people go to the office and stuff, and it's business or whatever. And then some people are just exactly on the trend and also artfully disheveled. So it's kind of like if hipster was office.
Oh, office hipster. Oh, okay.
Yeah, try harding.
Got it.
I mean, they're mad scientists. They're on an interesting wavelength at the best.
You haven't seen any other scientists in this facility yet. Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of like
but
mutter to Kathy as we're following this lady, just very quietly so that she doesn't hear. This place is weird and cut off from other things.
What kind of other things?
Other spiritual planes of existence.
So like
can't feel the afterlife.
So like Mystic Art's Dead Zone?
Yee.
Well, that's not going to be fun for us.
No. Important side note: it wasn't Mystic. It wasn't a magic dead zone. It was just a spiritual one.
Okay.
So your magic will still work.
Okay.
If you got a 20, you would know this. Your magic
Yeah.
still works just fine. It's just spiritual dead zone, kind of.
Spiritual dead zone.
Okay.
Ironically.
I mean, not all mad scientists are atheists. But
So she leads you down the hallway and past a couple of rooms with closed doors. There's lights, like a really toxic kind of blue light flashing out from beneath one door. But beyond that, it seems to be pretty tame for a mad science facility.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But she leads you down, and at the end, it's just it's a snack machine. You know, glass front, the little curly Q things that would spin and drop stuff if there were anything in the drop. There's not, but they would be. It is in fact completely empty. However, all the buttons are still lit up on the side.
Hmm.
Have you got a key to open it?
Yes, I do. I got it from the building facilities manager when I told them that I was going to stock it myself. So she reaches into her pocket and opens up the casing.
Okay, first I just go to feel around to make sure the snacks are not just invisible.
The snacks are not invisible. They are gone.
So my research and development is an 8, which is not bad because I'm science OS with magical software. I would like to I mean, we were told that from the beginning. We were told before we came here that this is a matter of things missing from the snack machine.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd just like, is it possible that I went to the real warehouse and got like a fingerprinting kit?
Sure, you can do that.
Okay, is that an R&D role or something else?
It can be an R&D role because it's technically research at that point.
Okay.
And I mean, it's not like I would also accept covert ops, but like fingerprints are lab people, so it would be R&D.
All right, then I'm gonna do a careful R&D. Let me take a look at my disciplines. My MLS doesn't really apply here, nor does my lifetime of customer service, nor do my emotional support mini shoggoths. Okay. So this is just gonna be a straight roll.
Yep.
Even though we have so many faith dice now. Ugh. That's a 5. So, because we have so many faith dice, I would like to spend 2.
Okay.
Can I spend 1 to reroll each of my approach and discipline dice, or only 1?
Right, you can spend 1 for each.
Okay, I'm just gonna reroll my whole roll, and yeah. Okay, better. That's at least a 10.
Okay, so with the 10,
yeah.
With the 10, you don't find any fingerprints. Well, that's fine.
Do I find her fingerprints?
You find her fingerprints, and you find one more set of fingerprints, which you suspect is probably the snack guy. The one the company send to refill these machines. But you don't find any other fingerprints. You know it's hers because she lets you take hers as well. But it is interesting because you do notice that all of the curlicues are in the full position, and the machine hasn't registered any dispensing. Like, it still thinks it's full. It has no idea that it's not.
And we don't have a cipher to just talk to the machine.
No, but you could theoretically have that cipher app because you have been in New York.
Oh, yeah, I do have the cipher app on my phone. It is currently busy watching cam footage of Omnicron 11. So I have to hey buddy, hey, wake up. Hey, we need you to talk to a lesser computer.
No, do it right. Hey, Cypher.
Hey, Cypher, we need you to talk to a lesser computer. I'm sorry in advance. I know you'd rather write fanfic and watch Omicron 11 videos, but here's the thing. Because, sentient software.
I can do that.
Awesome. Who rolls for this? Is it me?
I believe your thing was that you roll, but you get a +2 to it.
Okay.
It's your research and development
That
plus.
sounds right.
Yeah, it basically just confers the cipher's bonus to you when you're trying to do your research and development stuff with the cipher, with the database.
All right.
At least that's how I read it when you gave it to us.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna spend another faith die to reroll my approach because it's only a 7, and I rolled a 1. Okay. Now it's a 14. Thank you, dice. So
Okay.
I have rolled a 14.
Okay. So your cipherphone connects to the snack machine, and it gets the same readouts. The snack machine's pretty dumb. As far as it knows, it's still full. It reads as not having dispensed anything since the last time it was reset, which was the last time that she filled it because the key resets it.
Okay. Does this snack machine require money, or is it just a free snack machine?
It does require money. It has a cash box, but it also has a swipe card.
Okay.
And it also has there are companies now that this is one of them. Huh?
Do the tap thing?
Oh, well, that too, but no, it's actually they're basically like you pay to the company and put money on like a little scan card, and you can pay it at these vending machines for stuff.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It is one of those as well, but it doesn't have any records of any transactions for any of that.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Cypher. If you find any new Omicron 11 vids, just tell me. Just text me.
I can do that. It is worth noting that because you are searching for food items, I can tell you with certainty that there are no food items in this town.
In this town?
Alerts have gone out for all major food distributors. They need resupply. Their stores are empty.
Interesting. Okay. So I probably just have the cipher on speakerphone. So all right. So this might not be an isolated incident. Something is clearing out food in this whole town. Interesting.
I don't care how interesting it is. I just care that our snack machine is empty. You were brought here for that.
Yes, of course. All right. And I'm just gonna kind of look at the rest of the machine, just like there's no chew marks,
nothing like that.
No tiny claw marks, like it was just a rat, a very clever rat that somehow ate the bags and the food.
Nope, nothing like that.
And obviously no empty wrappers. It's
nope.
Just all gone.
All gone.
Can I try like looking at this thing through arcane eyes again?
Sure.
Now that I'm here looking at the vending machine itself. I'm gonna
roll it for me.
Tap one of those things on arcane energy bullshit.
Okay.
That is an 8. Wait,
not
10.
4.
I can do basic math. 4
okay.
and 4 and 2 is 10.
Okay.
Oh wait, that means I forgot to add the +2 to the cipher roll. That was a 16.
I did it for you, which is why you got the alert that major grocery distributors in the area had also. Yeah. Because I'm like, you rolled high enough, and the machine doesn't have much to tell you straight up does not have much to tell you. But so you look at this with your arcane, ghosty eyes, and while it's still weird that you can't feel the places beyond, there is definitely spiritual residue all over this machine. Like something reached through it and back out again. It's not anything you're familiar with. Like you've never seen this kind of energy before. It's definitely spiritual. It's probably some kind of ghost, as near as you can tell, but you've never seen anything like it. Like it's got the earmarks of once being a person, but it's not anymore.
Oh, those are the best kinds of monsters.
Ooh, do tell.
Kind of like prodding at the machine as I'm looking at it, and I just kind of. There's something here. It's not human anymore, but I can't be more specific than that.
Hmm.
You could if you rolled some demon dice.
I
Is
mean,
it
I'm
worth
fine
it
with
though? You know what? Yeah. I think it literally cannot go worse than last time. So,
You say
yeah.
that now.
Yeah, I say that now. I rolled a 3 on that, so we're up at 13, yeah? Probably need a 15 to get anything more
Yes, just with
specific.
style. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, got a 6 on that one.
There you go.
So,
19.
19. I can do basic math. I cannot. My brain is fried. I haven't had enough caffeine today.
Okay, so with successful style, you get a little more. You still don't recognize the energy signature, but you do recognize that the reason why you don't recognize it is because it's not local. It's not something that really should be here. Um, like you know the flavor of American magic and American spirits. This isn't one of them. This is non-American, and you've never felt anything else like it. You've never encountered this before. Uh, it's definitely a spirit that used to be a human, a live human, and it's definitely more than one of them.
Huh. I will convey that to Kathy.
Huh. So, ghosts from out of town came to this place and stole all its food.
Sure, sounds like.
Okay. Since your own magic tends to fall upon along those lines, do you think you could track them?
Maybe. Could try it.
Okay.
Um,
Why are you still sitting here?
Hmm?
You've obviously got all the information you can from this. You want from this stupid machine. If you're not going to fill it, then make sure that next time I fill it, it stays filled.
okay.
Well, we're working on that. Finding the culprit might mean, finding your snacks so you don't have to do another warehouse run.
Let's flash in here because that's starting to give me a headache.
And if I had the sense that the food was still on this plane of existence, I could just send my team of Shoggoths hunting for it. But that sometimes leads to other problems. I'm like, shush, Grover. Calm down, Grover. Okay. I mean, we could do like combined ritual casting or something.
We could.
That would take an hour.
Okay. And
It's a ritual, succeeding with style beyond the ritual cast does reduce the time, but as we saw in that taunt with the
I think the only one here who cares about the amount of time this takes is Miss Office Hipster.
is Karen. I'm
Yes.
sorry, Helen.
Helen,
Helen.
yes.
Helen. I forgot her name.
White, Helen White. I decided that Helen Mayonnaise was probably too hot. Sorry.
I mean, Shay, if we're in a spiritual dead zone, then finding one bunch of spirits might be easier here?
Might be. I think it's worth trying.
I have to ask, Dr. White, or is it Professor White?
It's Miss White.
Oh, okay. Miss White, we've noticed there's a spiritual disconnect in this area. Is that due to one of your, the experiments in this, laboratory, or is that just a coincidence?
As far as I know from our experience, I'll get it in a second. Experiments here. We are not. There was no dead zone when we set up. As far as I know, one of the other scientists mentioned that interference was possible, but that it wouldn't affect anything that the normal people would see, like it wouldn't stop their TVs or anything, which was the important part because we have to keep this information quiet. So keep your tentacles on a leash, and don't let anyone see them
Mhm.
as tentacles.
Okay.
Can you
Okay.
tell us where
It's a
that
nice town.
experiment was?
Hmm?
Can you tell us where that experiment was being done?
Oh, it's the third lab back.
Thanks.
I mean, if you know,
Well,
if the experiments are causing the food drainage, then at least we can maybe set up a defensive system on this machine so that stops happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
whatever. Just fix the problem. If you need me, I'll be in my office. And she storms off. Mainly because I don't want to keep trying to talk again.
Peace and quiet at last.
Stick out my tongue behind her, just.
I saw nothing.
No,
Grover,
you're just
meanwhile,
not going to
tattling on her
say you
and-
saw anything.
Meanwhile, Grover's tattling on Shay in Cthulhuian. I totally saw that.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Good boy. Good boy. Chill out. All right. So do you think you could track ghosties in a ghost no fly zone?
I mean, it's worth a shot.
And are you getting the sense of like discorporeal undead or just spirits?
maybe I described this incorrectly. What Shay saw from the reaching out and whatever, it's not a fog on the physical plane, it's a fog on the routes to places beyond. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
So like this realm is cut off from all the other realms, as opposed to something interfering with this realm. So it's not quite a ghost dead zone. It's yeah.
I think it's worth maybe poking around that lab before we do anything outrageous, because it's possible that we just walk there and find something. If we don't find anything, we should probably come back here and set up a ritual to try to track where that group of foreign ghosts went.
Okay. Refresh my memory. What did she say that the experiment in that lab was again? So she said before that they were experimenting on energy fields on certain supernaturals.
From Super Student.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what she said. You get the feeling that Miss White is much more office manager than scientist.
She's an admin, but not the fun kind.
No.
I bet she has no idea what's even going on in this place.
Okay, yeah. So all right. So I guess we'll check out. We'll go knock on the door of the lab, or I'll knock on the door in the lab because
I'll just walk in
with hands
or float in.
Yeah. So knock.
So you knock, and the door opens. This is the one that's has the really toxic blue light flashing up underneath it. So you knock, and the door opens about 3 inches, and you see one eye. Can I help you?
Hi, we're from the Omega team investigating the snack machine problem. We just wanted to ask you some things about your research and see if not that there's anything wrong with your research, but if it might somehow be causing this problem, we then have to put a defense thing on the snack machine.
My research has nothing to do with the snack machine. The door starts to close.
No, I put my foot in. No, but just could you explain to us a little bit more about what you're doing?
I'm taking readings and taking readings on supernatural entities.
Are you now?
What kinds?
I'm seeing ghosts
Other than me?
You're not allowed in here.
I don't like being told I'm not allowed in places.
It's a bad idea if you come in here. For you.
I see.
Okay, I think we're all here well aware of the not always happy relationship between supernaturals and the Brotherhood. So just tell us, we can take it.
You promise not to tell White or anyone else at the Brotherhood.
Well, we
I'm not
definitely-
telling her shit except about, her snack machine not disappearing.
Yeah, I'm fine with not telling White anything.
The door opens wide enough, and a hand reaches out and pulls you inside and slams the door behind you. You stay out here. Points at Shay. When you get inside the room, you see that the blue flashing light comes from some kind of interference cage that's holding a Slimer ghost from Ghostbusters, essentially, except it's a pale blue instead of green because green is copywritten. But it's
copyright distinctive Slimer.
A copyright distinct Slimer ghost in the middle of the room, and it's currently barfing ectoplasm on the blue field around it. It's getting reflected back in at it, so it's basically just showering itself in ectoplasm repeatedly. The flashing is coming from a humming machine that's projecting this blue light. And the scientist, who reveals himself to be about probably 24 years old, straw-colored hair everywhere, and just brown eyes, and he gets an arm over your shoulder and goes like, "Okay, we told White that we were just going to like take readings or whatever, but we needed a specimen, and she cannot know this is in here, or she will lose her shit, and so we're probably the Brotherhood. I don't want my funding pulled, but really, we're just trying to distinctivize what on like the spectrum, electromagnetic spectrum, and like
electromystical.
Yeah, that's a better one than I was going for. Electromystical spectrum of what this thing is doing. So it's a little more hands-on than she thinks it is, but she can't know about this. And your ghost friend can't come in here because she'll get sucked in.
Okay, but okay.
They'll get sucked in, but I'm sorry, I can't lose this job, but I didn't have anything to do with this night machine. This thing's been stuck in here for a week and a half.
Okay, but might any of its ghost buddies might have shown up to try and get it out?
It can't have, because we're basically bombarding the local frequencies with what we're pretty sure will keep any ghosts out of this plane.
Well, that's funny because ghosts are the ones who boosted all your snacks from the snack machine.
They can't have come in from outside.
So then were they already here?
I don't know. Also, I'd like to correct what he said. I didn't mean a week and a half. I meant 2.5 months. Sorry. Makes more sense that way.
So they've had Slimer trapped for 2.5 months.
Yes. Not 1.5 weeks. Sorry. But you cannot let White know that he's here.
That's fine. There's a ghost on my team. I'm not all that approving of ghost torture, because that's kind of what this looks like. But
I'm pretty sure it can't feel things. The ectoplasm is just, it's bored. If we give it a fidget spinner, it'll stop doing that. But
okay, is it safe to say that Kathy has like a Cliff Bar or something on her?
Yeah.
She wants to like take a piece of the Cliff Bar. She'll break it in half, and she'll feed. As far as he can tell, she feeds half to her backpack, and he doesn't understand why she just put half a raw Cliff Bar back in her backpack. And she's gonna toss the other half at Slimer and see what happens.
Okay, so you feed half of it to your backpack, and you toss the other half of it.
Because otherwise Grover would get really grouchy.
Slimer stops sliming.
You hungry, buddy?
Catches the Cliff Bar on his tongue. It looks like it swallows it, and then it just barfs it up, covered in in a slightly different color ectoplasm, which gets through the barrier and hits the scientist, and the Cliff Bar with the wrapper is embedded in the slime. So he just got slimed. He got hella slimed, but he's got Cliff Bar all over his face too.
Okay.
I didn't know it could do that, and I really needed to know that it could do that. So I wish you hadn't done that, but I'm kind of glad you did.
Science.
Yep.
I hope you know I have my ear to the door
that.
on the other side of the wall. I'm listening to all of this, or
Honestly,
trying to anyway.
If Shay weren't discorporated, she would have said, Shay, just had their phone ciphers talking to each other and hers on receive this whole time, but that's a little tricky.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
I no longer have a phone cipher. Alas.
You no longer have a phone.
Yeah.
You no longer have a flesh bag, but like he's covered in slime, he's kind of dripping, and he's giving you that look like, I wish you weren't here because I'd start dripping if you were. You know, the kind of like, I wish I was taking my clothes off right now, but I can't because there's a lady in the room.
Kathy isn't all that upset that this happened to him, because, she's a little, maybe she's a little soft-hearted, but her teammate is a ghost right now, and this guy's clearly not having a good time. And so what this guy claims that they're only keeping him in the cage to study him in mystical wavelengths?
Yeah. Because they needed something to give off mystical wavelengths and they couldn't get anything else.
Okay, so at what point will you have enough data and can just let him go?
When he stops being able to do that.
So...
Like, we were gonna let him go in the next week or two, but like, now that we know he can do that, we have to calibrate again.
Okay. And so 2.5 months, is that about the same amount of time you've been having problems with the snack machine?
No. Snack machine started happening like a week ago. I didn't care much because, like, I didn't like the snacks in there. You know, peanut allergies are a bitch, but...
Can I, on the other side of the door here, do some more mystic arts and try to grab onto the energies that they're studying in this room and see if, like, compare it to the energies that I picked up on the vending machine?
Sure, roll for vibe.
It's a vibe roll.
Vibe check.
You know what? I'm gonna use my I am death magic stunt and tap one of the invokes on that because I study nightmares beyond death, and this
there you go.
Seems like a nightmare beyond death.
Woo-hoo!
And that is a 19.
Okay, so you vibe with the energies, and like the energies in so what you vibe with you vibe with the energies in the room, and the energies in the room are very not mystical, and like they're mystical wavelength, but you can tell they have a rather mechanical origin, kind of that soulless flavor, but it's
magic and technology.
Yeah,
not always a good match.
My favorite flavor
but
of
you can definitely tell that the magic coming from this room and the magic that was stuck to the snack machine are categorically very different, because the ones in the snack machine were very much, had that je ne sais quoi that comes from being people, or at least non-technological origins. And this is very technological. What it does taste like is that fog that you hit between worlds.
Well, you said that the place was kind of protected or cut off or whatever, so he said as much on that front.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Because you're reviving specifically with this room, you can also get the faint aftertaste of Slimer slime, because A, he did slime that guy, and B, the Slimer was put in that room before the wards were put up.
Hey, Cypher. Sorry to interrupt.
What can I do for you?
Can you look over obituaries and death records for the last 2.5 months?
I can do that.
And,
roll for it.
Especially for the last, maybe 1 or 2 weeks. Now I'm wondering if because they cut off. I'm gonna say that's a clever. So one of them is now a D10. Um, and I'm gonna use a faith dice because this is research based. I don't know. It's a cipher doing it, but discipline. I have a God's damn Masters of Library Science, so I would like to use another faith die. This one from the pool because I'm out of
Okay.
my own. Because now what Kathy is like, while there's a foreign flavor to these ghosts, like, is it possible that if they've had the gates to beyond blocked for 2.5 months, like, it's a small town, but if people are dying and can't go anywhere, they're gonna start causing problems. Or possibly more like, justifiable protest. And, like, that was what she was thinking before. Is like, there's plenty of cultures where you leave food for the dead if they're hanging out. So, and +2 for the cipher. I rolled a 1 on my faith die. Does that mean we keep it? Because it's from
Yes.
the pool. Okay, so I'll just. I already marked it as used, so we'll just put it back in another one. So that's 16, 17 +2, 19. Because I'm a goddamn librarian.
You are, yes.
I'ma research this bitch.
Would you like to make it a 20?
No, I'm good with, okay, I'll make it a 20.
You can totally do it.
We're such a I think we're the original 3 people that were gaming together before I started this channel, and we're just all like, it's cool, bro, it's cool.
Yep.
Ooh, 5, so that is 24.
Okay. So, current records indicate that approximately 1 person has died in the last 2.5 months in this town. However, it is worth knowing that they died in a car accident and not because of any food-related illnesses or any other such thing, and no traditions exist in this area of leaving food for the dead. However, it is worth noting that a new weight loss institute has recently opened in the area. It is noted for having, advertised as having new and innovative weight loss regimens from the far corners of the globe. No deaths have been recorded at the location, but no permanent residents have ever been to the location either.
Okay, is it like just a gym and nutrition center, or is it like a sleepaway camp kind of retreat place where people live there, or
Records indicate that the packages available are for day-to-day use, or more popularly, for 2 to 6 week stays that are guaranteed to lose you at least 15 pounds or your money back. No record of any transfers of money back have been procured so far, and reviews have been glowing of its results. However, I do, and this is your 20 speaking, I do have records of canceled plane tickets for at least 5 of the members who came in from out of state. It has been advertised heavily, not only locally, but across the nation.
Okay, and the one death in the last couple months that person had no connection to this facility?
Correct. That person appears to have been a local high schooler who got into his, according to the police reports, was intoxicated at the time of the crash and was not wearing their seatbelt.
Oh, poor kid. Alright, how far away is this, diet camp?
It is approximately 2 miles outside of town.
Okay. And we are in town.
Yeah, you're in town currently.
Alright. Alright,
7:30.
Yes.
Excuse me, 8:30 for you guys.
Okay. Yeah, my break alarm is about to go off. So, alright. Alright, might come back with more questions. Good luck with your, why don't you wear a lab coat? Just wear a lab coat.
He was wearing a lab coat. He just had it open, so it's soaked the lab coat.
Mistake.
It's gotten, you can tell that's sticking all the way to skin.
That's the whole point of lab coats.
Yeah, rookie mistake. You keep the lab coat closed.
You can't run that way, but having tried it, you can't run in a closed lab coat. At least not if you button it all the way down.
No. I mean, you can hitch it up again if you need to run, but...
Yeah.
Anyway, alright, thank you for your help. Keep sciencing, buddy, and I just walk out, having talked to my phone cipher. Close the door quietly behind me, and I'm like, Shay, were you able to hear that?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were talking to the DM, not the guy. Okay, so, but yeah, no. So he's like, yep. Got your phone number on the wall. Well,
oh, okay.
he looks behind him and is like cartoonish because it wasn't like there's an outline of him in slime on the wall, and like you can clearly see where there would have been a phone number in paper on the wall, except it wasn't laminated, but now it is.
Okay, I just sort of take a phone capture with take a photo of the number, and I'm like, alright, bye. Have fun sciencing.
It's now firmly stuck to the wall with slime.
I also wave to the ghost. I'm like, hang in there, buddy.
It turns itself inside out really fast, spins around 3 times, and then spews some of the ectoplasm you saw it using before into the thing. You think that maybe it's having fun with the, like, kind of making its own shower and, surfing on its own ectoplasm, but...
Poor creature. Like, just should not be in captivity. Alright, I quietly leave. I walk out. I find Shay next to the door, so how much of that were you able to hear?
Most, if not all of it.
Okay, so don't go in that room or you'll end up trapped in the vomit bubble as well.
I heard that bit.
Ectoplasm bubble. But there was a little bit
I don't fancy going in.
The little bit of instant karma was satisfying. I'm sorry I didn't get it on phone video.
I'll try not to hold it against you.
Yeah. Alright, so... My first thought was that if they've closed off the gates to, the stairway to heaven, all of them, that maybe someone died and can't move on. But there's only one death, and it was a high school student. It doesn't sound related. But while Phone Cypher was searching for it, they found, there's apparently a diet camp, or we'll call it diet camp. It's a stupid industry anyway. And they're touting, is it that they're advertising it worldwide, but they're touting, exotic foreign, weight loss treatments?
They're touting it across the continental US, wherever they can, mostly in the small towns and whatever, where the cheap billboards are and that kind of thing. Maybe some radio spots, but, it's, far... exotic weight loss cures from far distant lands.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't know how someone can use spirits for weight loss, but, spirits of famine.
Sounds like it's something worth looking into, though.
Okay,
if it's weird and seems vaguely related.
Okay, so between the two of us, I am both fat and visible. Or no, actually no, you're not fat, I am. I am willing to, if the real enemy here is fat phobia, I'm willing to take one for the team. My parents sent me to a fat camp when I was little, it sucked. Okay,
Do you need me to fight them?
I'm not gonna say yes, yet. No growth. Okay. I'm not gonna give you a hard no, but let's first see what we've got.
I mean, obviously this takes precedence over that, but
Oh wait, you mean my parents?
yeah.
Uh, they're actually dead already. So
Well, so am I.
okay. Well, thank you. I love you, but not right now.
A family fist fight comes later.
But okay, so I guess we get in our crappy Toyota Civic, and well, I do with my backpack and my living backpack, my sentient phone, and my ghost friend.
I make a mockery of getting in the car.
You even have to open the door.
Oh yeah,
Shay
Shay
opens
absolutely.
the door for practice.
Shay doesn't open the door. Shay just, does the really awkward kind of pick yourself up and kind of hoik yourself in like it's a bucket seat, but it's not a bucket seat, nor is it a convertible. But that's
You know
how
what
they
I
get it
do
in.
is I float up to the car before Kathy can get there and then annoyingly pull on the door handle.
There you go.
I can't get enough force behind it to open the thing, but I rattle it annoyingly like the poltergeist I am. And then
like
when
Shay's
Kathy gets there and unlocks the door, I just slide into the seat.
The fact that Shay's next Pokemon incarnation is Poltergeist. Shay has evolved into Poltergeist. Door handle attack. Okay, so 10 minutes.
Gourgeist. Oh yeah, sorry. I was trying to remember the poltergeist, but yeah, it's Gourgeist, not poltergeist.
Doorgeist.
Poltergeist is on Flight Rising. It's a ghost turkey.
Yay! I've also seen it. Randy Mulholland uses that in his games too. It's fun. Alright, so chat, we take a 10-minute break now. And when we get back, we will investigate that the real villain was fat phobia the whole time. And I can run with that. Although trigger warning, I guess. Alright, so going offline in a sec, and chat, we will see you in a little bit. Video is live, I think. I hope.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Can you hear us?
Can everyone hear me? Can everyone see me? Sorry, the stream comes back on, suddenly we all become Gilderoy Lockhart.
Yeah. I won't say that hasn't crossed my mind a couple of times. It definitely has.
Okay. Alright. So we are in our I guess, rental Toyota, or maybe it's just a warehouse car,
Possibly.
heading for the fat camp. Or, I'm sorry, the diet camp.
The specialized, spa and resort that deals in weight loss.
So out of character speaking, I don't mind dealing with this in game. Like, it's not triggering me, but Kathy will have no problems covering such a place in tentacles and fire. And honestly, I wouldn't either. But this is sometimes the catharsis you can get from a role-playing game. So I guess it's safe to say content warning, diet talk, because we are literally going into the belly of the beast on this one. So.
I think I will approach this invisible. So, like, unless you can generally just see ghosts, no one should be able to see me.
Got it.
Can I see you? Because Kathy isn't necessarily a necromancer, but they are kind of the only other sorcerer willing to hang out with her at this point. There are not a lot of Cthulhu priests in the Brotherhood yet. I see her as hanging out with necromancers the most, just because it's like, hey, they thought we were evil too, and we're only sort of evil.
Yeah, maybe we made something so you can see me.
Yeah, like I'm carrying like what is fetter? No, fetter wouldn't quite be the right thing, but because also you're not entirely dead.
Yeah, I'm only mostly dead. Mostly dead is very different than all dead.
What do you do? What do you do if it's all dead?
Go through your pockets for loose change.
Unfortunately, my pockets are not findable, and that is why I am mostly dead.
Woohoo.
Ah well.
You know, if you had your pocket cipher with you when you misplaced your corporation, theoretically you could find it that way.
Maybe, unless there are greater shenanigans afoot. But we'll leave that open, because
Yeah.
I'm not GM today.
Think about that another day.
I'm just a player today! I don't got a GM!
Just a suggestion, but... Right, so you are in your Prius, and you're on the road to Mandalay, as they say.
Oh, I probably got that in the MP3 player.
On the road to Mandalay?
Blackmore's Night, yes. I'm a
Oh, yeah.
folk nerd, of course I have this.
Never actually heard the song. I should know it from a Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoon.
Yeah.
Can you play On the Road to Mandalay? And then they throw the old guy out. It was one of the shorts. I think it was like one of the Roman shorts.
Okay.
That cuts up Rocky and Bullwinkle. If you've ever seen an episode. Back on topic.
Prius!
Prius.
Prius to Diet Camp, which Kathy might want to destroy even if it's not, responsible.
Offering weight loss solutions from, far corners of the globe. That was one of the most epic eye rolls I've seen.
Boy. Let's just say I've been reading a lot of reflections on fat phobia today before we started gaming. It's been a day for that, and I'm like, I am all for burning down a diet camp today.
Let's go.
Let's do this. Kathy's not usually much of a chaos goblin, but today, oh.
Today we found something that will make Kathy into a chaos goblin, and she's, accompanied by an actual chaos goblin.
Just remember, you signed Form 47B.
Yeah,
if
I
you
know.
change your alignment to chaotic evil, they will come for you.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I did fill out that. Well, we'll just have to look for an excuse then. So then I can fill out more paperwork later justifying my decision. I am a librarian. You cannot scare me with paperwork, Brotherhood.
So you drive along the road, and it doesn't take you too long. It's only 2 miles outside of town. And you come up onto a gate, because this is a gated community. No.
Oh, they're just giving me excuses now. They're just...
But you pull up, and it's it's one of those fancy dancy gates that's got a pillar before the actual gate itself, and you pull up to the pillar, and it's one of those intercoms.
Mm-hmm. Boop, boop. Hello, I believe I have an appointment.
Name, please.
Helen White.
I don't have you scheduled until tomorrow.
We're saving
Just
her
immediately
from herself,
is
Shay.
in sync.
Well, that sure was a guess.
Well, now we have to save Helen from herself. Okay.
Just the immediate in sync.
stop Chris ODing, Merc.
I refuse. This is one of the few joys I have left in life. You know?
Yep.
And it's been a week.
Mm.
So,
Well, I'm here now. Can we push up my appointment to now?
there will be a surcharge.
I can work with that.
Very well. If you would please enter your electronic signature below, acknowledging the acceptance of extra fees.
Okay.
And the screen beneath the pad lights up, and it's one of those, terms of service documents. That it's a DocuSign essentially, and like there's an area you can press.
Yeah, I just press with my index finger.
Yeah, you press it, it pops up with adopt and sign, and it shows Helen's name in like stupid font, like a very
I'm totally
basic ass
like
font.
looking over Kathy's shoulder, which would be totally unfeasible if I had a flashback, but I do not. So I'm just floating awkwardly watching this whole process and trying not to cackle and distract her.
Well, I mean, we are still in the car.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of just scribble. I mean, but it's one of those touchscreen signature things anyway, so I could just do a straight line and it'll come out as a squiggle.
Yep.
A really pixelated squiggle.
Yep. So you sign, the screen flicks off, and the gates open.
Okay, I drive in with my tiny Prius. Toot toot.
Yep.
Buzz.
As you pull along, there are rolling, heavily manicured fields of that disturbingly green grass that rich people prefer, that are, it's wide square blades for some reason of grass, and it's perfectly, like, if you've ever seen this stuff, is it
AstroTurf or is it real grass?
It's real grass, but it's not a native grass. It's very popular in Texas for being slightly more drought resistant than the longer, thinner blades. But it's it's the kind of grass you pull a blade out and you can make a leaf whistle out of it. If you've ever done that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lawns are stupid anyway.
Yeah, lawns are hideously stupid, and this is clearly just this is you could have an entire housing development on this lawn. Because this is Texas and there's so much space that you can have these enormous lawns. And like you can clearly see off to your left as you crest a gentle hill that is very clearly artificial because it's so perfectly set up. Off to the left is a golf course, not a very big one, and then off on the other side is a frisbee golf course.
A frisbee. Okay, I'm a New Yorker. I don't understand these things.
Oh,
there's
frisbee golf.
There's already too much space.
Yeah, it's wide open.
I'll just assume it's real and keep walking. Frisbee golf. Okay.
No, it is real. I've played it before. It's not bad.
Okay. And I just sort of quietly whisper to no one in particular because no one can see my backpack monster or ghost friend. You know what this place could use? This place could use some non-Euclidean geometry, architecture. Just saying.
You could use a lot of things.
Okay. Yeah, and I keep walking towards.
You're driving.
Or driving. So I drive to wherever it looks like the gas.
This is like a 3/4 mile driveway. This is just a ridiculously long driveway. And as you pull up, you see that very basic ass limestone architecture. Because for some reason, the very popular shit around here nowadays for the McMansions and shit is having native limestone, even though it's a shitty building material. You build your house and you face it in native limestone. It looks about like a brick of oatmeal, and it looks really shitty in my opinion.
And that's the stuff that causes sinkholes. Well, maybe for different reasons, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You wanna do some magic bullshit and fuck up the entire geometry of this place before we leave?
Okay, let's go with maybe on that. Let's see.
I'm
Let's
just
see.
throwing ideas out.
I mean, if something else wants to burn this place down, we are just a couple of tiny omegas, one of whom is half alive. You know, we certainly couldn't stop it.
Shay, roll me some occult. However you'd like.
Okay. Is it still weird here?
Where's our mystic meter?
It's gonna be a 7. So.
Captain, this entire play is made of widdly wee. No. Sorry. Um.
I'm gonna want to roll demon dice to get up to a 10, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're at 9.
Oh my god.
This is tragic. Oh, there's a 5. So we're at 14.
Okay. So what you sense is well, for one, you do, like you're a ghost. You can't get hungry. But if you had to describe a vibe to this place, it would be hungry. Like it's not just hungry for food, like this place is hungry for something more than food, but it also smells a bit like that stuff you found on the vending machine.
Hey, so I'm guessing we're in the right place.
Vibe similarities?
Vibe hungry.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't really feel hunger anymore, but like this whole place feels like the concept of being hungry.
Yeah, that scans. Okay.
Yeah. No food in the region, no food in the vending machine, place that wants to eat everything.
About how far away are we from the lab?
You're about, if it's 2 miles outside of town, let me measure distance on this map. Hang on. Measure distance.
Oh wait, you said the lab was in the town, or rather the
lab was in town.
Warehouse
If you
lab.
was outside of town, it'd be maybe between 4 and 5 miles away from the lab, because on the other side of town.
Hi.
But yeah, so you get in, and at the end of the driveway, there's a small creek that is very clearly artificial because it is, like someone tried feng shui or something like that, and like this is so very heavily artificial, like,
Yes.
and there's a bunch of non-native plants all over the place, like.
Not to continue beating this into the ground, but New Yorker, I know what pretend wildlife looks like.
Yeah.
It's just that our designers perfected it.
Fair.
They maybe didn't invent it, but they perfected it in New York.
Right. This is trying to look natural, but very clearly isn't. Because I mean, you don't know the region very well, but like, like those plants, like it's got Japanese maples all over the place. It's got the fun willow trees that were very clearly planted in a very specific pattern, and you've got the creek and the water and the non-native stone all around it because you can see the limestone on this stupid building. And like you drove through limestone on the way here. You know what it looks like. The native region is just this is a river lined in non-native stone pretending to be a native river. Pretending to be some kind of, landscaping. The really horrible kind of landscaping. And sure enough, the place itself is, this pillowy mass of mashed potato looking rock, with those stupid fancy hotels that have the arches over the thing that you have a drop off point or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a guest parking lot, or is it valet?
It is valet, and there is a stand. You would also expect that maybe perhaps people would Uber here, perhaps,
Okay.
or have their own drivers, if you will. But there is a valet stand, and the valet, just as the
to the Prius, but doesn't say anything.
You got a poor people expensive car.
Well, this is an old ass Prius. Like, this is not the finest, top of the line. No, 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 no. You are driving a
We're
1993
Omegas.
Prius.
We're Omegas.
You- You're driving a 1993 Prius. You're lucky it doesn't have any dings.
Mm.
Do you want me to try to go park the car and freak them out because their car drives itself?
Okay, technically yes, but I think I need to keep you with me for weird detector purposes.
Fair enough.
Because I'm gonna have to bullshit my way through this place. So, well, I am BSing. I say kind of quietly, like I'm talking. Actually, no, I used to do this in a mage game all the time as a dream speaker. I'm pretending to talk on my phone. So yeah, I'm gonna need you to, I guess, take point. Or no, I'm taking point, so you have to keep an eye out and back me up.
I can do that.
Oh, also you phone cipher. Fine. I have too many invisible friends now. I know you're not invisible. Anyway, okay. Oh, this is gonna go great.
Is having invisible friends a problem?
No. But I need y'all to keep your eyes open while I'm pretending to be Helen White. While I'm pretending to be the Karenist of Karens. Challenge accepted. So yes, poltergeist hijinks may be later. Let's do this first. And if they're toying with supernatural forces to begin with, like, shit's gonna go down, whether we want to or not. I think.
Probably.
Okay. All right, break, and put my phone away, or I put my phone cipher back in my pocket. And yeah, I step out to the judgy looks of the valet dude. And
Oh yeah, super judgy. Like, this guy's a pimply 16-year-old, but he is super judgy. You know, one of those skinny dudes with the artfully styled hair that's been sprayed into place, you know,
what is
like,
it with Texan hipsters? There's so many. Did they migrate? Jesus.
this is suburban. This
is country club bullshit.
Yes, this is country club bullshit. Welcome to north of Denton.
Yeah, she just, ignores it because she has literally looked into the mouth of cosmic horror and come out the other side. Like, country club bullshit ain't got nothing on that.
So, masterfully ignoring the stares and sniffs of this pimply 16-year-old, who takes, well, okay, it's not pimply, but you feel like if he didn't have, the money for concealer, he would be pimply. That kind of kid, takes your car and pulls around the side. You don't see where he takes it because you don't want to ruin the aesthetic of the grounds with a visible parking lot, and also there's just fuck tons of land. And you head inside.
Yep.
Okay. You walk in through the automatic doors to soft strains of shamisen. That's what I want to say. Yeah, the 2-string Japanese guitar.
Oh, okay.
And like this place has been done up in very much pretentious, like it's
club bullshit.
It's country club bullshit, but it's Japanese flavored country club bullshit done by a white person who went to Japan and came back.
Cultural appropriation country club bullshit.
Yes.
Country club appropriation. There we go.
In case we needed proof that this place was evil. Or even more proof, I suppose.
Like,
I wonder what else they brought back from Japan.
So, you walk inside. There's no receptionist desk, but there is a tall blonde woman waiting for you in a wearing a pencil skirt, and a white blouse. She's wearing pumps.
Okay.
Hi, Miss White.
Hi. Yes.
Yes, we have you booked for a full 2-week experience. If you'd like to come this way, I'll show you to your room. Uh, our evening um, meal replacement ritual will be taking place in approximately 45 minutes. If you're not too tired from your drive, you can join us, or you can just stay in your room for tonight. And then I'll get you the your full schedule for tomorrow and for the rest of your stay. Um, once you're settled in, just ring in and let us know if there's anything you need.
All right, thank you very much. I'm
All right.
sorry to be such a bother. I must have gotten the date wrong.
Oh, it's all right. We do make allowances. So, if you would please follow me. And she starts walking off down one of the corridors leading off of this main room.
Okay.
You get the feeling like she didn't scoff at you like
The teenager.
teenager did, but like you get the distinct feeling that you are completely underdressed for this, and also not what they were expecting when Karen White made the reservation. But you also feel like maybe Karen White paid enough for this that they're not going to mention any of this, especially not with your readiness to accept extra fees.
Oh wait, I gave the name Helen White.
Helen White, sorry, that's what I meant to say.
I was wondering. I'm like, oh, did I accidentally say Karen White?
No, I'm
it's
sorry.
completely
You
different.
called her a Karen, and then it
Yeah.
just kind of,
I know, it's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I also the fact that I have no luggage with me for a 2-week stay. Although this might be the place so fancy that they have clothing waiting for me in the room because aesthetic.
Yes, that's exactly what's going on. You get to your room and you find
I've got my New York City well, I've got a backpack with me. I guess I'll yeah. She's like,
yeah,
I've got toiletries, it's fine.
it's oh god, I've forgotten the name. It's the Japanese robe.
A kimono?
It's not a hanbok. It's
Not kimono either, because those are I can't. I've known too many costume historians. I can't call them kimonos.
no, but it's the
Habito?
white person who
Habitoy? No. I
hanbok. No, it's not a hanbok. It's not a hanbok.
Chat, help!
That is Korean. It's the
I'll let
Japanese.
you know this.
It's the
Arcane
Japanese robe.
Yeah.
It's the Japanese robe, as
Because,
for the country club.
Is it at least consistently is it consistently Japanese appropriation going on?
Yes, it is
Okay.
consistently Japanese appropriation all across this place. From the clothes that are in fact hanging in your closet, waiting for your 2-week stay, to the other rooms you see as she's leading you through, and she points them out. This is our meditation room. We have a nice garden here. It is clean every day, and you can. We have time set out for people to rake through it as they like. You see, it's you're both you both took your shoes off at the entryway to this hallway, and you're now wearing the right sandals and that kind of stuff, slippers and that kind of thing. It's consistent Japanese bullshit all the way through this.
Like I know rich people bullshit is different in New York than in other places, but like Kathy is inured to this.
Inert, yes.
Inured to this at this point. She's like, oh, okay. She's seen this before. She didn't live in it, but she's seen it. She can roll with this.
I need to say, outside the game, it started raining and thundering here. If I dip, it's probably because my power went out.
Okay.
Just putting it out there.
Oof. Okay.
Because the apocalypse isn't done with us yet. Or isn't done with Texas yet.
Yeah.
And we are now actively making fun of Texas, so
yes,
we're definitely
actively making fun of Texas. So,
anyway.
Yes, you have made it to your room full of Japanese bullshit. Like, it's got a bed, and it's clearly an American bed with Japanese stylings on it because they don't want their guests to be too uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, they weren't willing to compromise comfort for that authentic Japanese experience this much.
Yeah, it's not the straw mats on the floor.
No.
Did they want the authentic Japanese experience to begin with, or did they just want the American idea of it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. That's
Okay. So I'd like to do a thing where I've got the so she just leaves me in my room to
yes. She
decompress.
leaves you in your room to settle in. She left you with a list of activities, and they are all extremely bullshit. None of the names stick out as there's like meditation hour. There's daily cleansing ritual, which you suspect is just rich people bullshit for spa treatments. You've got your daily meal together and that daily meal regimen, whatever, and it's the kind of thing you'd get from a 2-week experience.
Mm-hmm. So I'd say that Kathy probably came in wearing like relatively loose jeans and like a blouse and like a button-up shirt. So also kind of office casual, but also I don't work in an office anymore. Bullshit, like fuck this.
Yeah.
And she's got a Jansport that is secretly a evil creature.
Yes.
So what she's gonna do while she has some time alone, and she's just okay, Shay. Once the lady leaves, I assume Shay is still here, or has Shay discorporated or dissolved or.
I'm tempted to keep following this lady.
Oh, okay. If Kathy sees you doing that,
I'll just
quietly nod and go into her room. And she does mention I think I could do the in 45 minutes the meal replacement cleansing.
Yeah, evening meal ritual, whatever.
Evening meal ritual. I think I'd like to partake in that if there's room for me.
Wonderful. I'll be back and now escort you to the place. The layout can get a little confusing. We did include a map, but I just want to make sure that your stay is, the best.
All right. So I'll change into the Stepford monk attire. I guess is what we're going for. And she will take Grover off her back and say, "Okay, Grover, these people cannot abide by the existence of backpacks, so we're going to do something different." And she will start describing to him what a knee brace looks like.
Okay.
So basically, are there any rules or stipulations in any of the paperwork or the pamphlets they've given her and say, "Oh, you can't wear a knee brace or a back brace or anything"?
Nope, nothing like that. Assistive medical devices are fine. Vaping is not allowed. Smoking is in specific rooms only.
Okay, and probably only cigars. I'm sure there's a cigar room somewhere, and I'm not going. All right, so I basically get Grover to turn into a knee brace, and then fit him under whatever the flouncy rayon long culottes are, is what I'm imagining.
Yeah. Okay, and you do so.
Mm-hmm.
Shay, what are you doing?
I'm following this lady that showed us in here just to see where she goes after leaving us, and if she mutters anything interesting under her breath.
Well, it won't be in actual Japanese, I'm quite sure.
Probably not.
So, she doesn't mutter anything under her breath, but she does do the little, and then makes some notes on on the paper she's carrying, and starts heading away from Kathy's room when she deposits Kathy in her space.
Dear diary, a poor arrived today, and
can I try reading the notes?
Sure. You get over her shoulder. Roll me an occult to see if you give her the shivers or not, or do you care?
I don't really care.
Okay. You lean over her shoulder and she does that. She's gonna get
the shivers and immediately think it's a ghost.
Yeah, she doesn't, she doesn't quite do the kind of thing, cold or whatever, something on my neck or whatever, but she's just like, and makes another note, and you see that first notes were white, NT um uh XTRA $$. And then underneath, uh, the new note she made when you lean over her shoulder is uh, call mate HVAC.
What were the letters she wrote down? NTERY.
Yeah, XTRA $$.
Interesting.
Hmm.
And she walks away. She doesn't head back the way she came. Instead, she heads deeper into the complex, and she ends up in a. You get the feeling after a couple of turns that these are not hallways they lead guests into. They are, you know, they still have some light Japanese theming to them, but they have a lot of the excess bullshit cut out. Like, the aesthetic cuts back to closer to aesthetic than aesthetic, you know what I mean? Um and she pushes open the door of a pretty normal looking office, and there's like a couple of katana on the wall, of course, and some Japanese hangings, and a little shrine with two incense sticks sticking out of it. Excuse me, goodness. She sits at the desk and flips the computer on. It was asleep, but it wasn't locked.
Interesting.
She starts doing managerial bullshit. Like, you see her pulling up the file for Helen White, and like just starting to add line items on the invoice section.
What are they charging me for?
What are they charging?
Oh, extra day. Yeah, extra night. So.
Yeah, it's early charges, it's clothing charges, it's luggage handling fees, and it's extra valet parking.
Luggage. Oh, valet parking. The car isn't.
You brought a bag.
I carried the bag. The bag is a small minion. Bougie bitch. Okay, fine.
You're not going to be the one who gets charged.
Yeah, just basic administrative work.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Well, I'm
no. Can I do a mystic thing? See if there's any sign of mystic bullshit here?
Mystic managerial bullshit.
It's gonna be an 8.
You get the same vibes you did driving up.
Damn.
This place is hungry.
Okay.
And it smells like the vending machine.
I'll live with that for now.
Kathy, you want to do something?
While I'm in the room waiting for the bougie bitch to come back, actually, she's not necessarily bougie. We'll see what her deal is. I'm actually just gonna look up my phone normally and go and look at this place's website and actually figure out, okay, what is actually supposed to be here, so I'm not completely driving blind and whoops.
Okay.
Whoops.
So you pull up the website. It takes 1 bajillion years to load on your phone because it's got so much fucking shit on it. The fancy animations, the smooth graphics, there's a couple of videos that are definitely also auto-playing as soon as you roll up to them.
Oh, my librarian senses are tingling in a sad and angry way. It's just, this website.
Yeah, no, my web design senses are going, I hate this already, and I'm describing it.
Yep.
But yeah, it's one of those over-designed, horribly slow loading time websites that supposedly look very nice and just take forever to load, and then don't have things like out of context lines from your views or something like that scrolling across the top,
And as you scroll down, more elements are revealed to you. Um, basically, what you get from the site is basically that it's definitely a place for rich bitches or people pretending to be rich bitch. It's not Hollywood stars and Fortune 500 people only kind of money, but it's still very much priced out of the range of your average office worker. Um,
Which makes it strange that an office worker we know is going to be coming here, and kind of puts it like, so why is she upset about us? Why do we have to fix the vending machine now? She's not even going to be here for 2 weeks. Anyway.
um, uh, the packages do start for the day to day is something like it's $700 a day to day. The 2 week packages start at 5,000 and go up from there. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, and like the 5,000 package gets you uh, a room and the meal regimen, um, guaranteed to lose you at least 15 pounds by the end of your stay, or your money back. Um, the longer stays have extended weight loss options available with them, um, and they are the scale is not quite exponential, but pretty expensive. Um, it does say in extremely small text at the bottom that additional fees may apply for cars, for entertainment options, for like you're paying for Wi-Fi, for the clothes mandated by the mandated. You can't wear your own clothes around. You have to wear the ones that provide you, but it does cost you an extra fee for the clothes.
We won't let you wear your own clothes, and then we will charge you extra for borrowing ours, of course.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, fees for toiletries and that kind of stuff, and like it's all extremely tiny text at the bottom that you only saw because you knew to look for it. And you zoomed it a lot, like a couple, and yeah, basic rich bitchy stuff. It's supposedly it's a Zen relaxation away from life, guaranteed to lose you weight. You're expected to not leave for the next 2 weeks while you are here. You are expected to eat the food they provide you and only the food they provide you. Any outside food or drink will accrue penalties. For and there are
Okay, are there pictures of the meals?
Yes, there are pictures of the meals. They are very aesthetic pictures of the meals. There's filters
One
on
piece of sushi and a flower and a bag of lavender scented air.
Yeah, things like that. Like white rice. There's a lot of white rice I don't. I am making this up
Okay.
as I go along. I don't actually know what rich people would feed themselves in a
Japanese resort.
Yeah,
resort.
so the Japanese eat a lot of white rice. I don't know. No alcohol. That's very very clear. No alcohol. No, not provided. Not to be brought in.
Do they show any? Among the annoying animations and videos? Are there any videos of the evening meditation ritual or anything like that?
Yes. So, well, I mean, it's not a whole video by itself. It's a pastiche of clips that show, very pretty people doing exercise.
Who are already thin.
Who are already thin, doing Tai Chi on the front lawn as the sun slowly comes up, who are having a delightful day out golfing. And, there's a couple of slices of a large dining hall with the, low tables and pillow chairs and the very aesthetic meals of like the green. Oh, it's not basjune. What's the green beans? Edamame, like a single edamame pod and like some sauce and like a thing of fish.
Yeah. I'd be
Yeah,
surprised actually if there were rice, just because like carbs are evil now, or according to the diet industry.
fair.
But there could still be rice, since I don't think it's the food that's making people thin here, nor the discipline, or the meditation or anything. I think there's a famine spirit trapped here somewhere, and there might be a little cranky that all of those, gateways to elsewhere have been shut down. I look up just like the history of the place. How long has this place been here?
This particular location was actually built for this place. It's a new development. It was built here. There's not really any records before of any buildings here before that. It was built and designed by a very white person named, um, and it was the founder of the place is Susan Smith, and whose bio on the website says that she spent several years in Japan and learned the secret ways of losing weight and has brought them back to share with the people of America. Being better written about it, but this is not my create.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, weight loss secret of an interdimensional tapeworm. Okay.
Um, it is
Fail
worth
zombies. No, no failure. We've only got a half hour left.
it is worth noting that while most of the reviews are pretty glowing, there are some small not quite fringe blog, but definitely it's like definitely someone's personal thing and not a reputable source going. Um, my friend went here, and I haven't heard from them in a while.
Mm.
But it's only a few sources. Most of the reviews are pretty glowing, between 4 and 5 stars. The 4 stars are clearly people who um, gained back the weight they lost there, and they're blaming the place for it.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just doing my librarian thing of actually looking at the website, which no one ever does. Though I pity the poor web designer that had to build this website, because
Oh my god.
or it was some rich person's cousin's son, nephew, blah, who thought they knew how to web design. And there's just no
It's just
accounting for
it's
taste.
so over engineered. Like it takes good 2.5 minutes to load.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, web design, you should never take more than 15 seconds to load your page.
And it's not even because of ads, like on a plebeian website. It's just because, like, look at all the fanciness.
That's it exactly.
Like, oh, good, a rich people's website won't have ads. Nope, it's worse. It's
Yep.
worse.
It's so much worse.
Keep it simple, stupid. Indeed, Fadir. Yeah. So, if nothing else, I think I'm gonna, do my own little meditation, hum, and vibe check myself, because I have been relying on Shay a lot for that, but I wouldn't say this to Shay directly, but I actually have a body that can be starved. I'd like to see if I can detect any, like, malevolent force that literally wants to eat me. Or take my calories, or whatever the hell is going on here.
Okay, roll it. What you drink? I was gonna drink.
Hydrate! Hail, hydrate!
Hydration is key.
Yes. I'm gonna say
Hydrate
that is
sounds like a good plan.
clever mystic art. But I'm not commanding tentacly minions, so I don't get a bonus. Actually, we have so many faith dice. I'm gonna use a faith die for, Accidental Cantor of Cthulhu.
Okay.
So I'm sure I've got a gong in here. I'm sure there is one. There's a crappy little gong, so I just sort of sit next to it and go, bong, and I kind of vibe with the sound, and I say, Dreadlord Cthulhu, is there something here trying to be as scary as you? Or one of your brethren? or underlings.
Hey
Kind
there,
of vibe.
Cthulhu.
Hey there, Cthulhu, down there in your sunken city. Ooh, that is an 18. So I just sit
Okay.
on the bed with my cheap ass but expensive looking gong, meditating and humming and barding and Cthulhuing and
Okay. Yeah, that's a successful style. So, the vibe you get is, unlike Shay, you do have a body and you can get hungry. So, you are immediately hungry as soon as you start vibing. Like, maybe you had, maybe you had one of your Cliff Bars in the car or something. But no, you're immediately like, I could go for like a 2-course meal. Because people, you can't eat 7-course meals. Anyway,
I mean, if they're very
there's
small, like, oh, you haven't seen Red Dwarf, so you don't know this. Well, I'll tell you later. I
right.
recommend Red Dwarf. I think you would like it. But yeah,
I tuned in once on a really weird spot and I never looked at it again.
yeah, it can get weird. Anyway,
Yeah.
Tuning in at the
The
wrong
problem
spot
was it
be
was
like
weird and
that.
my mom was in the room.
oh, okay.
So yeah, we just never tuned back into that one.
Japanese can be very much, small portions and many, many courses, but like, yeah, it's not
Right,
a
but
Thanksgiving dinner.
you're immediately hungry for, like uh cheap diner food where you spend $10 and get 5 pounds worth of meat or something
Yeah.
like that.
An
You're
American
you're
breakfast.
you're hungry. You are so hungry. Um and as you vibe a little more, you realize that yes, you're hungry. Um and it's kind of like an externally imposed hunger. Um
Interesting way to run a magic diet place is to make your people hungrier.
it's not necessarily emptying you out, but it feels, because it's successful style, it feels like it's accelerating your metabolism. Your body's responding by going, I must need more fuel. um but you also feel that
Kind of
because
like
you're
kind of like when I'm around my that lady I know who's a succubus, and I suddenly want to nail the male boy to the wall. Kind of.
yeah,
I don't necessarily want to do that, but being in the presence of a succubus will maybe make me want to do that.
right. It's sort of like that. And also, you're the Cantor of Cthulhu, and you came into that pretty traumatically. So you know what death feels like, and you can feel it in these walls, like this kind of thing. Like you're vibing and you're vibing, and you feel um the
Especially
hungry.
death across different realities or planes that shouldn't necessarily intersect, and then the death happens.
Well, it's not you like if you try and vibe across realities, you can't actually reach across reality
yeah,
right now because you're stuck in this plane.
Yeah.
But you do feel that this hunger, you know it's not as hard on you because you're in pretty decent health and stuff, but you feel like this kind of hunger would be bad for someone who had like an underlying medical condition or something. um and you can kind of tell that maybe that has already happened. Like it's you normally you vibe across realities, and being stuck in one reality is kind of weird for you.
It's like an echo chamber.
Yeah, but because it's an echo chamber, you're picking up on things you wouldn't normally pick up.
So I'm sensing accidental death rather than sacrifice it to my famine god death.
Yes.
Okay, that's a distinction a priestess of Cthulhu would know.
Yes.
Cthulhu's not actually that into it, but everyone thinks he is, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah. What happened here, if what happened here probably wasn't a sacrifice to a god or anything like that. Especially because, like, you can feel the potential energy that was just kind of left.
Like, from what Chris/Kathy knows from being a real-life librarian and just absorbing information is that, Japan has Shinto-type stuff going on. If stupid rich white lady brought a Shinto spirit of something and isn't taking proper care of it, or, like, did I get a date of when this resort opened?
This resort opened 3 weeks ago.
Oh.
But So this was open 3 weeks ago. The experiments in the facility have been going on for 2.5 months. Things have been disappearing in the last week, and the blog posts you found when you were Googling this place are dated 3 days ago.
Okay. Alright, so it's possible that if she brought a Shinto, a spirit of some sort with her for this bullshit, like, it's not gonna be happy if it can't communicate with its own realm. Which it can't do because the Brotherhood is doing a weird thing in this area that it shouldn't be. Alright. So, that is what I will focus on until I am collected for evening excuse for a meal.
Yep, and it's not too long before that happens. Who did I say? You're the white lady who led you here before. You hear a polite knock on your door.
Yep, I am. Alright,
Yep.
Is it time for evening meditation?
She slides it open. Yes, please follow me.
Okay, thank you.
So she leads you.
I could be rich bitch, but I feel bad for people who obviously have to deal with these people all the time, so I'm just gonna be polite.
I'm
Even
still
if she's
floating
snooty
behind this
about it.
person, and I just give you a wave as I come by.
Okay, as I'm walking, I just sort of discreetly, like, behind my back, hold my fists, like, nah. Like, kind of, like, looking, like...
You hear the faintest whisper of, nothing much.
Okay. Because we forgot to put up telepathic spell thingamajig, so we just have to... Okay.
It's okay.
Right.
Yeah, so I just walk with her.
Yep. You are led to the room you saw in the videos for this place. It's a pretty big room with the tatami mats and the low tables. It's maybe a third full. Not too many people, but still a pretty decent amount.
But it's only been here 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's only been 3 weeks, and like it's not even one 6-week course yet, but like one group of 2-week courses already comes through and have let it's like, oh yeah, worked perfectly. I lost 20 pounds or whatever, like even more than what they promised. Kind of glowing rich bitch reviews, and of course all hype beforehand.
And lifestyle bloggers and influencers and people who were basically already thin.
Yes, you feel like you saw some of the advertisements going on for it, and like there were some early influencers who were let in early so they could get a taste of it and spread it among their followers and that kind of stuff. And yeah, this place was hyped pretty hard. So it's not surprising that there are, a fair amount of guests. You were seated by yourself. It seems like anyone who wasn't already part of a group is sitting by themselves, pretty much.
I can live with that.
Not quite at the point of having to combine people yet. So you're let in, and you're let sit down, and then at the high table, another woman comes in whom you recognize from the website. This is the founder, Miss Susan. She comes in, and she is wearing what white people would call a kimono. It's done up very pretty and that kind of stuff, very much dinner attire. She sits down, and she raises her hands that are covered by the sleeves of her kimono, even though she could clearly take her hands up, but she hasn't.
She's clearly tied it wrong.
Oh yeah. Thank you all for joining me this evening. So, if you would please, put your hands in front of you, and we will commence this evening meditation. As you know, there are only 2 meals served here daily. We do a early morning and a midday meal, and we spend this time in quiet meditation of our own inner needs and desires, and we focus on becoming releasing the thinner you that is inside of you. And she goes on this complete and utter it's so much bullshit. Yeah,
Word vomit.
I'm free to make faces because no one but Kathy can see me.
Yes.
Fatphobic word vomit. Okay.
Oh yeah. It's bad, and it's so clearly dribble. And when she finally stops, you hear. It's not even a real gong; it's a recorded gong. uh, Go off, and that's the signal that the rest of the hour.
I don't know what's worse, the fat phobia or the cultural appropriation, but they just sort of feed on each other like a feedback loop of fail. Is all of what's going on in Kathy's head, wishing she had set up a telepathic web with Shay before this started.
Because you rolled a success with style, your vibe is still, you can still vibe a bit, especially now that when she's like, she spent about half an hour talking. She's like, now we spend the rest of the hour meditating, and that's when the gong hit, recorded gong hit. So when the gong struck, your vibe went off, and it felt like whatever was making you hungry was now, it's like it's kicked into a slightly higher gear. So even more than before, because your body is burning through fuel faster than it would normally.
Oh, interesting. Increased metabolism. All right, so I'm here for basically the midday not a meal.
This is evening. You're here for the evening meal. The evening not a meal. Okay. So they feed early in the morning at like daybreak, as the clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And midday, and then for the evening they just meditate on their inherent fat phobia and bullshit.
All right. So
also, it's worth noting that your vibe is that whatever is causing it is nearby. The hungry vibe has gotten closer.
Okay. So what Kathy's gonna do is pretend to meditate, because it's really like just stay still and kind of mostly close your eyes. Or actually, no, people can do open-eyed meditation. She's gonna pretend to space out with everyone else, but she's gonna be garbage. God damn it. And then the garbage flies come out. She's gonna keep an eye on what's going on in here. She's gonna pretend to do open-eyed meditation, but she's actually keeping an eye on things, seeing what changes, if anything emerges. Like, the phrasing was, the skinny person is inside you come out, and I'm like, okay, living poltergeists? Maybe. Like, she's just gonna see how this goes, but she will kind of, as we start meditating, kind of scratch and motion to Shay, like, go look. And I will, hoping that it's understood, Shay, go investigate, I will stay here and watch the norms. Who might be food? I don't know. And she's also just sort of kind of, at least at the beginning of meditation, as they're settling down, just look around and see if she can see an obvious source of the increased metabolism. If that's another roll. She's like, this is such a cool place. I am so impressed by all of this, in her eyes. Not saying it, because you don't talk to these people.
Right. Make me another roll.
Okay. I'm gonna say it's another clever mystic arts.
And Shay, if you're going to investigate, make me a roll.
And again, adding a faith die from the pool for accidental cantor of Cthulhu, because there is a gong, and that is technically music.
I'm doing the same, but I'm adding a faith die for unsupervised occultist, because nobody can tell me what to do right now. Nope. I am absolutely on my own.
I have kind of suggested what you could do, but
yeah.
you don't, yeah.
I have rolled decently. I'm at a 16.
I got another 6, 12. I got another 19.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, I assume I'm not allowed to bring a cell phone in here, and I'm assuming my clothing have no pockets. So right. I did not bring phone cipher with me.
Right.
Can we say you left it unlocked in your room, so if I need it, I can maybe access it?
Yeah, that's fine. Poltergeist, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So Shay, are you actually going through the wall, or are you just staying in the room with?
I'm gonna see where the energy feels like it's coming from and follow it if I can get a good read on
Oh,
that.
that's right, because Shay can also feel this by virtue
Yeah.
of being. Y'all ain't got no.
I am
body.
death magic.
Okay, so with your 19, you're pretty sure the enhanced metabolism vibes are coming from the dais where the person where Susan is sitting. Like the vibe you're getting is the power is from there. Possibly might be the giant scroll behind her. Might be something on the dais. You're not sure. It's just definitely from that area.
But you are a ghost and are not bound by physics.
No, I'm not.
No, you are not. You also get the same vibe. You can, but you can see a little better than Kathy can because Kathy is tied to the physical plane. It's actually coming through the wall, and when you float through the wall, you find a small shrine. It's got a bunch of what? Oh God, they're the little papers with the characters on them. You hang on stuff.
The little calligraphy scrolls. I don't know what they're called either.
Yeah,
Feel free to tell us what they're called.
I knew the name for them once upon a time, but you basically use them for magic and for sealing.
Yeah,
and
Sailor Mars, OG Sailor Mars use them all the time. I haven't watched the new Sailor Moon yet, but that was like the whole magic thing was whoosh.
Yeah. So these are hanging all around the room, and tied with ropes, more of those, the chain ropes and that kind of thing made of them. And in the center is a shrine with two incense sticks sticking out of it that is glowing a pretty unhealthy shade of yellow. And you, Shay, you find in the room with you 5 ghosts. They don't look like ghosts you recognize though. They're human, but for one, they're naked. 2, it's hard to gender them because they look like starvation victims, like skin taped to bones, except for their bellies, which are just huge, and they're the people who are very much starving. Every tear-jerking photo, people are starving in XYZ country, kind of, these ghosts look like starving people.
Do they react to me coming in at all?
They look at you with kind of creepy, blank eyes, but then look back at the shrine.
I'm gonna kind of float a little closer to them and be like, hey, what's going on here?
How you doing? Hello, other ghosts. I am also a ghost.
Yeah.
They look at you with their completely blank black eyes and hungry.
And what sates that hunger?
Hungry.
Great, thanks. That's helpful. Can I examine this shrine a little more closely?
Roll it.
It won't quite matter right now, but I would like to, for a moment, use one of my stunts. The stunt knows too much. Because I'm a professional research librarian, I meant to do this earlier. Because I'm a professional research librarian, once per session I can create a free invocation on any knowledge-based aspects that... on any knowledge-based aspects that happen to be present. If there are no knowledge aspects, I create one with 3 free invokes on it.
Okay.
I would like, should it be we should call it actual Japanese mysticism? Actual. actual respectful Japanese mysticism.
Sounds good.
I do not know if Shay can use that while I am not there. Because it's not like we have cell phones right now. Or we do, but it's shared and it's in my room. But yeah.
It's near the end. I'd allow it.
Okay.
And it has 3 free invokes on it.
Hmm.
This is based on Cooter's stunt. Because he can get 3 free invokes on a something. And I'm like, then I can too.
I have a 2 free invokes on a something as one of my stunts. So I'm gonna tap one of those and use one from the pool for Studies Nightmares Beyond Death. Just so I can boost it a little more, because I know things too. I know a little bit about shrines and, you know, feeding spirits with them, and rolled a 1 on one of those faith dice. That's a 17.
Okay. Yeah, that's a.
Had to add 4 numbers. My brain shorted out.
That's a success. I'm gonna call it a successful style. So, Shay, you were a college kid back in the day, and before
like
that,
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah, 2 weeks ago, you were a college kid, and even before that, you were a high school kid. And what you had was that one weeby friend.
Oh yeah.
They were
Just one.
just that one. This one specifically was very fond of Japanese and their actual not literature, but like lore, I guess would be a word for it. I can't remember. Yes, mythology. That's the one I wanted.
Between the 3 of us, we can words.
Oh yeah.
Well, words eventually. So your weeby friend, you remember your weeby friend telling you about Japanese spirits of hunger called Gaki. Gaki are cursed spirits of people that who died, and they came back as Gaki. They're technically demons, but they were human once. It's basically a form of hell. They are cursed to eat, but never find nourishment or even kind of satiation. They'll eat and they'll eat and they'll eat, and they'll never be full. They'll never be satisfied. So, the thing you know about Gaki is that normally they live in a realm of suffering just beyond our own, but just beyond our own is currently not accessible. What you get from the shrine, once again, this is a different weeby friend, but this weeby friend showed you some words in kanji, essentially, and forced you to memorize them by writing them over and over again because they were that kind of weeb. You know, the people who just like instead of people who drew that stupid S symbol, this one just did kanji a bunch of times. And like you learned what they were in self-defense, so that they wouldn't write, poop on your backpack or something, juvenile, and leave you to it. So you recognize a few of the symbols and stuff. This looks like straight up majory, but like Japanese. This is Shintoism, that kind of thing. This is real Japanese magic that is happening here, and it actually looks professionally done, like someone who actually knew things about Japan set this up. Yep. And it doesn't look actively hostile or anything like that, but these Gaki seem to be centered on it.
Okay.
One more thing you know about Gaki is that the only way to let them pass on from the realm of suffering is to give them food specially prepared by Buddhist priests.
Oh, that's fun. Real easy solution there.
Yeah. That's the way we can pass on permanently, but normally they live in a realm of suffering beyond our own. Presumably, if they could get there, they would be there.
Okay. So I'm going to find the mundane way to get into and out of this room so that I can bring Kathy back later and go back and tell her I found the thing.
So
Kathy's, just nods because she doesn't want to scare the bougie people. And nothing scares them more than a poor person speaking.
I'm just like
except maybe a BIPOC person speaking. Let's
Yeah.
be real.
Is that BIPOC or is it BLPOC?
I. It's an I.
I don't know.
It's
Okay.
Black Indigenous people of color.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Someone's clearly fucking with someone else's stuff right now.
Yeah.
A snowball of bad ideas happening today in Texas. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So
yeah, that took maybe 20 minutes, Shane, for you to for you to vibe and suss that out and do your investigating, looking high and low, and finding eventually the secreted entrance to this place. It is inside it's inside one of the offices. The entrance is. It's a swankier office than the one you saw Pencil Skirt go into earlier.
Mm-hmm.
This one has, a glass desk and a big picture window and an aquarium.
Okay.
It's the bougie office where no real work gets done.
Yeah.
Except talking to other rich people.
You know what? I'm not bitter about offices at all. No, why do you ask?
Okay. And how long is evening meditation? Like an hour?
It is an hour, but she spent the one on the dais spent the first 3 minutes talking, and then when the gong was hit, that's when the spell amped up into effect, and that's when Shay went off, and that's when you started vibing in here.
No one in this room has died since this started.
Right, correct.
And does anyone look like particularly uncomfortable or freaking out or like they're gonna faint because diet culture is horrible bullshit, is the most horrible bullshit, and does not care about people's health.
You're reasonably far back in the room, so it's hard for you to tell from behind. No one is visibly wobbling, but the silence in the room is kind of oppressive and no one is breaking it.
And no one's like breaking to go to the bathroom or anything.
No.
Okay. So yeah, if it's about an hour,
So it's an hour, and then she spent the first half of it talking, and then the next 20 minutes after that with you. So it's another 10 minutes or so before she does the
fake gong
again, and then she's like, okay, thank you for joining me. If you all head back to your rooms, we will be presenting you morning meal tomorrow promptly at 7, and after which we'll begin with the tea ceremony in the green room. So she gets up, says, I guess she'd probably say konnichiwa, something like that, something really stupid and trite, bows, and then watches while everyone gets up to leave. When people get up to leave, you do see a particularly, this kid is probably not much more than 15, probably was sent here on mommy's dime. She is wobbling.
Is she really skinny, or is she...
Yeah.
I kind of keep an eye on her just in case she falls over.
No, she course corrects pretty quickly, and she takes off down one of the other hallways, not towards your room. You end up walking down with a fit 40-year-old businessman who probably dabbles in oil and war crimes on the side, and you don't know, but
I wouldn't be surprised.
I
by
just
any
was
of
not expecting the phrase oil and war crimes on the side.
At this
They
point-
go in hand in hand.
Yeah,
They
at
sure
this-
do.
At this point, oil is inherently a war crime. Let's be
Yeah.
fair.
And
Domestic
a
or
and
foreign.
yeah, and another young woman who's not as young as the one who's wobbling, but who is still already thin. You know.
Okay, and here I am, an actual fat, and I'm just going to, if they look at me, I'll just smile and nod, and he's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm in Zen mode, because I'm a priestess, I can pretend to be in Zen mode. When
Yep.
I'm actually in, I'm gonna talk to my ghost friend. We're gonna figure out what to burn down.
Neither of them deign to interact with you,
I figured not.
and you get to your room.
Okay, and and I wait for my ghost friend to follow. Or has Shay been with me the whole time? Or just...
I've been just like hanging around you the whole time.
Okay. Shay could have actually been telling me the whole time, like what they found.
That would be a risk because I do still make noise if I'm like talking.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I would have just like
Kathy's-
vibed nearby until
so-
we're
so
in
at
a
this
place
point,
where I
yeah.
can speak again.
Once we're alone in the room, she kind of like shakes her leg a little bit, and what might have been a knee brace slithers out of her rayon culotte pant leg and turns into Grover properly again. He's like,
It was not perhaps the best approximation you've ever seen of a knee brace, but
But
it was the best he could do.
and it was under the clothing, so
Yep.
Anyway, so okay, so what'd you find, and can we blow it up or tear it down?
Maybe.
Or something.
It's probably gonna take some sort of ritual to undo it. Found a shrine and some cursed hungry spirits behind that wall. Also found the secret way in. I had time.
I mean,
I'm
that's
not sure
why-
I have the knowledge to properly do it, but that's never stopped me before, so
Yeah, and I'm also here, so
yeah.
I'm fine, like, just quietly sneaking in, and we'll figure it out. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it is, okay, so it is 10:09.
It is.
So I'm willing to do a quiet, sneaky sneak instead of a mass combat, if that's what it takes to shut this shit down. I mean, one of us is a poltergeist.
I could totally possess somebody.
So with Shay describing to me what they've seen, does it sound like something that Shay could just actually just tear the shit out of and break it down and it would break the spell? Or does it sound like something we need to do more carefully or vortex happens?
You from Shay's description and from your encyclopedic knowledge of a lot of things, it seems like the position and placement of the paper stickers in the room was important part. I've forgotten the name and I knew it.
That's what they are.
The paper stick. I've forgotten the name.
The
They're-
spell
It
spells.
happens.
Yeah, they're
It's been a day.
I knew the word and then I don't anymore. It annoys me. But those they're well, for one thing, you know that the white lady could not have made them. For one, they are these particular things can only be made by Shinto masters or particular strains of Buddhists.
She has the enough money to buy real magic.
Yeah, she has the
Which
money to
we
buy
see-
real magic.
We see a lot of that shit in New York.
Yep.
And it's always a problem.
Because she has the money to buy real magic, and this is a very materialistic kind of thing going on. You feel like the worst that would happen if the ritual was disturbed was it would explode, but not like a huge explosion.
Well, luckily one of us is already a ghost.
So like an explosion shouldn't do damage to me,
And
theoretically.
technically there's no one else in that room except people who are already dead, and it is close to the fancy office, but I doubt she'll be there overnight.
I would be
Unless she's-
surprised.
If she's meditating in there and you want to tag me in, like come back and get me. Also,
Otherwise, I'm just gonna go in and you know, spiritually torch it, I guess.
at the same time, I'm gonna call the guy in the lab saying, you know, and explain the problem. So at the same time that you're doing this, someone summoned the Gaki, hunger demon ghost people, to a dieting resort, and that is probably what keeps stealing the snacks out of the machine. So, could you shut down your field of nonsense for tonight so we can shut this down and make them go away, at least for a time? And then we can put a bigger team on watching this whole diet resort problem. People
I can give.
This thing is killing humans. Not directly, but the spiritual hunger has killed, it sounds like, a few people already. And it's only been open 3 weeks.
That's okay. I can.
So if you don't shut it down, I will have to tell the higher-ups about your work, and they will make you shut it down.
No. I can't give you the whole night, but I can give you half an hour. That's as much as I can do without possibly, you know. I mean, it's a safety precaution.
Okay.
Half an hour's enough.
Okay, you give us half an hour, tell us when it starts.
Okay, I can do that. So, when are you gonna do this?
Are we gonna... I guess we'll wait until, like... Okay, so what time is it now in character? It's like 8 p.m. And
It's like 7:30. The sun is westering, but not quite setting just yet because it's getting to be that time of year where the sun's up until 9 p.m.
Yeah. So let's wait till 9:30 p.m. I'll tell him, you know, we're gonna do this at 9:30 p.m. because there is no nightlife happening in this resort. So by the time it's actually dark, everyone should be just not... Everyone should just be miserable in their own individual rooms.
Yep.
So, yeah. So let's start with that, and then,
Got it. Will do. And he hangs up on you. But not before you hear in the background.
You go, girl. Okay, so we're gonna start by just sending Shay. And if there are more complications than one poltergeist can handle, Shay will come back and get me. And my minions.
All the tentacle minions.
Tentacle minions?
Yeah.
All my rubber puppies!
Rubber puppies. Oh my god.
My mind is fine. This is not having any effect on my mental health, I swear. They're adorable.
Okay. So, Shay, you're heading back to the room where it happens? So you get back to the room and a couple of the ghosts have disappeared, but you're pretty sure they didn't actually leave the plane.
Does that
Hmm.
for snacks?
The field is still up.
Don't like that.
So you're doing this at about 9:30, 9:45? Okay.
Yep.
So do you float in through the office or not? Or you're just going straight through walls, you know?
I just go straight through walls.
As
right
the
in.
ghost flies. Okay, as the
Yeah,
ghost
why
flies.
would I bother with such things as hallways and secret doors when every wall is a secret door in my book?
Fair enough. So you mosey on through, and you get to the room, and it looks pretty much like it did while dinner was going on, except it's a little more quiescent now. Like the glow is dimmed somewhat, and like the number, like I said, the couple of the Gaki have disappeared,
Mm-hmm.
or at least are not present when you get there.
Well, if I destroy the shrine and the thing that's feeding them, they'll probably still go away regardless of where they are, right?
Well, I mean, with the gate, with the stairway to heaven is now open, or stairway to heaven and hell is now open, they can hopefully go back to their home dimension, or their current hell dimension. And once the barrier's back up, hopefully they can't be called back when she hires another Shinto priest.
That's right. So, sorry, I've forgotten that you've done that. So, while you're going through walls and stuff, you do feel the fog dissipate. You can once again access any of the afterlives. Like, you could go to heaven right now if you wanted. You couldn't come back, but you could go. Because you're a Brotherhood member, and that's an avenue that's open to you. You know, all the ways are open, and actually when you get there are no Gaki. Sorry.
So they're just gone because the doors opened up.
But maybe tear the shit down anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to poltergeist it up and throw shit around the room and kind of just destroy it so that they can't come back.
This is what Shay
right.
thinks of your cultural appropriation bullshit.
Okay.
I'm basically keeping alert in my room with, like, my normal clothes on, because I'm gonna have to either run to help Shay if something explodes, or just run out of this camp.
Okay, so
Uh-oh.
10, 12.
I'm an unsupervised occultist.
15,
It's my job to make
21.
questionable decisions.
Okay, so your target to beat to wreck this shit is 21, and I will require either occult or combat and tactics because you are trying to wreck shit.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my stunt of learned from poltergeists, and
you still have actual respectful Japanese mysticism with 2 more invokes on it.
okay, I'll use one of those invokes,
You know what to break.
and
Okay, fair enough.
you know,
I was about to say that's a knowledge-based thing, and she's just trying to wreck shit. But if it's knowing what to wreck and how to wreck it,
yeah.
I'm gonna wreck it. I can fix it. No.
Yeah. I'm gonna use my other invoke on Nightmare Beyond Death.
You know, destruction-seeking chaos goblin poltergeist. Yes.
I should probably just use the other invoke on arcane energy bullshit too, shouldn't I?
There you go. That's not my portal.
Yeah. And
Use the pool dice. We have so many.
yeah, I'm gonna use one from the pool for unsupervised occultist, and I mean I'm throwing 4 extra faith dice on this one. That should be plenty, right?
To beat a 21.
Should be plenty. Yeah. I'm getting a +2 because I'm doing a flashy mystic arts to wreck shit.
Woohoo!
Okay, I rolled pretty well and now I have to do math because of it. You know.
That is a consequence.
Yeah.
What happened?
I rolled
rolled
pretty
well.
well and
You
now I
rolled
have
well.
to do math.
They rolled, then I gotta do math. That's how that one works.
29.
Okay, that is a success with style. So you
Success
know,
be damned.
not quite. That would be it.
I was rolling against a 21, wasn't I?
Yes, you were.
That's true.
So it's not going to be damned.
Oh, and I didn't add the +2, so it's 31.
Okay, now it's
Now
physically
it's a physically
damned. So what happens is you start wrecking shit. You know, you're like, okay, never. You know, they gave me some pointers about this, and I tried it in like a couple other places, but now I gotta try it here against magical stuff. And so you're like, all right, let's make it shake. And so you start concentrating, and like you can feel the resistance this stuff has for being moved because it, like, you know, inertia is a property of matter and also a property of magic, so it doesn't want to break its shape because it was well made, you know. But you're like, nah, bro, we're doing this. And
I am an undead necromancer. I will bend the physical world to my will.
and that's exactly what happens as the walls begin to shake. Like, you're pretty sure you got down to the foundations on this shake. And finally you feel it's not quite
a snap, but you definitely feel the moment when you overcome that inertia, and all of the little paper tablets that were taped to the walls catch fire, and the ropes between them snap. The shrine itself tumbles and leaves behind a glowing agglomeration of yellow magic, which contracts. And you're like, oh well, that was because you think it looks like it contracts down to a pinprick, and you're like, oh well, that's because you're still shaking everything, and like your poltergeist, so you caught things on fire. There's probably some ectoplasm dripping down the walls now.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, okay, I was kind of hoping for more reaction than that, and then it expands outward. It sweeps backward. It blows out the paper walls of the room because this is Japanese style, which then catch fire because of the flaming paper things that are hanging onto them, and that blows out in a whomp. You break the aquarium. It goes all across the.
No,
Yeah.
the fishy.
You're the fish, unfortunately. The desk shatters. The window blows out on the office.
All the fancy glass bullshit explodes.
Yep, you that's on one side. On the other side, you blow it out into the meditation dinner hall, whatever, and the giant paper scroll that had been decorating the back there catches fire. So that happened, and it doesn't blow more walls out beyond that because it's a pretty big room, and the ones to either side were exterior walls, so they weren't paper. But you've done a pretty decent amount of damage to this place. You look up and see starlight. Well, you don't see starlight because it's too close to the city, but you see yellow light reflected off clouds.
And I just hear this from the domicile.
You feel this
feel
first. What happens first is that the floor starts shaking, and then the walls start shaking, and everything stops for a second, and then you hear the explosion, and like you can feel it too, because it's an explosion of magic as well. So you as a cantor actually feel the magic rushing out, like that was a lot of power, and it's definitely not local power. Like this was,
exotic.
This was definitely genuine Japanese genuine Japanese magic done by a genuine Japanese expert, and like even the remnants that you could feel blowing through you were it's like looking at tatters of fine lace. You still knew it was fine lace, even though now it's in chunks all over the place, and also on fire.
Well, Shay,
yeah, you did
to blow the shit out of something all day.
You
I really wanted
you
to blow
definitely
the
blew
shit
a
out of
hole in
something.
the roof, by the way, Shay. It's open to the sky now, and the fire alarm goes off.
And you all hear my voice echoing across the campus, and that's how I feel about your fat phobic mystic cultural appropriation bullshit.
Yeah, you do hear. Kathy knows it's Shay's voice. But nobody else does, and it is projected across the entire thing. It echoes, and it's got the weird ghost quality to it. So it's not quite, it's very hollow sounding, and almost, like the spirit of one of your victims definitely came back and killed you for it, or whatever. Every haunting movie ever.
Yeah.
Angry post-teenage ghost, and
there is screaming now. Dark shapes in the night. People are starting to, get out of their rooms.
Okay.
Yeah. Out onto the grounds.
Kathy's just gonna she's got her regular clothes on now. She puts her backpack back on and is, she's going
I come back and I'm just like, time to go find the car.
Do you want to drive the car out of the garage?
Can I?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Fuck yeah.
Just meet me, I'm gonna walk back towards, somewhere a bit out of the way, so... Yeah, okay. Because we get to go back to the lowercase W warehouse now.
Yeah.
We have
I'll
to
go
tell-
find the car, have some trial and error on managing to get it started, because interacting with the corporeal world is hard.
It's a good.
But I'm a poltergeist, damn it.
It is thankfully an automatic, so you don't have
trying
that problem.
For Omicron 11 status.
I mean, worst comes to worst, I try to possess the car, and
It can be done.
It can
Yeah.
be done. There's plenty of evidence for it in Omicron 11.
yeah. Maybe I give up on trying to interact with the corporeal world and just possess the car, and your demon,
I'm a college student in a Prius.
your demon car, your demon Prius rolls out of the
They treat
garage.
They treat you like the intern.
Yeah, no, nobody's watching the like you roll out from.
Sad, actually, if no one sees the haunted car.
I mean, they see the Prius rolling out, but no one is there. No one is there to stop you from rolling out of the garage. Is what I'm saying. Is that the valet has vanished. You drift out from among the very expensive Lambos and whatever expensive cars middle class people buy to drive. Well, no, not middle class, bougie people, upper, you know, people who would call themselves middle class but are definitely not middle class because there's no middle class. Anyway,
I only have 3 cars in my driveway. One of them is a lease. Kind
Yes.
of people, yeah.
yeah,
And
it's like,
it's
oh
a
no,
baby, but it's a lease. Yeah.
oh no, we might have to give up the summer home.
Yeah, so I just wait for Shay to come around with the car, and I'm like, all right, move over.
Yep. You're not the only one who's standing on the lawn looking back because like that's the only source of light. There's no light on the ground, so it's actually really, really dark on the grounds because there's no lights on the grounds, but the light pollution from Sanger and from Denton has basically killed any kind of, starlight you might have gotten.
Grover's a little torn because he's like, oh, I wanted to go do some chaos, but that's pretty good chaos.
We'll do chaos together another time.
He finds a piece of spell scroll on the ground, and his tentacle goes, chomp, 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 chomp. Yeah, there, I helped the chaos.
Yeah.
Munch, munch, munch.
Munch, munch.
It's like, you're a good little rubber puppy. So, and we just, we head back to the lowercase W warehouse.
Yep. You come back and, like, it's a self-storage facility. It's 24-hour...
Helen's still there, because I have to tell her what happened.
24-hour access. Helen is not there. The guy from the who was conducting experiments is still.
Because he's a
so.
workaholic, and he's a
So
food scientist. He's still here.
You drive in to the 24-hour storage facility. It's self-storage or whatever. You get 24-hour access. It's coded, but you knew the code, so you drove right in, and you get a slightly ominous feeling as you drive towards your the Brotherhood's location.
Okay, given the half-hour time slot, has that passed, or are we still in that?
It has passed, but Shay, you noticed that the wards haven't gone back up.
Oh dear.
Slimer might have gotten out.
Sure enough, you get there, and the door is standing open. There are just slug trails of ectoplasm leading from the exterior door to the interior door, and like college kid is stuck to the floor. He's just covered in it, and he's looking up at like he's not dead, but the look on his face is like, I wish I were dead.
Ectoplasm does go away after a little while.
I could have Grover munch it away.
His lab is also pretty comprehensively wrecked. Things are upturned. The machine that was protecting the blue thing is smashed. There's a lot of his stuff is clearly broken, and it's all covered in slime. Like, you're pretty sure most of it's ectoplasm, but you're not 100% sure that all of it is ectoplasm.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and
don't torture ghosts is the theme of today's episode. Just don't do it. They're suffering enough as ghosts. Don't torture them more, okay?
Yep, but he just lies there, like he's not really responding to much of what you're saying.
Well, what she will actually say to him is, the system hates Miss Chrysalids Mike. Okay. Well, that's because I turned my mic down because everyone said it was too loud before. Okay, I've turned it up. Can you hear me now? And flies. Alright, so what she'll actually say is, now what did we learn about capturing and torturing supernatural entities? Anything? How about you think about it? I'm gonna go leave a note for Helen. We have fixed the snack machine problem. I think. I just walk away.
I got to blow things up.
Yep. That's my happy little poltergeist friend. Okay. And yeah, so I basically go to Helen's office. Is Helen's office open?
No, it is locked, but there's a note on the door that's like, sorry we missed you. We'll be back, and it's one of those little time clock things you can set, and it's set for tomorrow at 8.
Okay, then I'm going to... Do I have her, like, cell phone number or something? Because she was our point of contact here.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna text her then. So, good news, we solved the snack machine problem. Bad news, it's because the resort you were going to for 2 weeks, or someone with your name, was enslaving starvation demon ghosts from Japan with all their cultural appropriation bullshit. And it might not be open when you go for your reservation, sorry. But you were adorable, and I don't think you need to go to the... And I name whatever the name of the facility is. I don't think you need that bullshit in your life. You were adorable. Text me back if you have any further questions. We are going to, file the report and check that a senior team can try and take down this resort nonsense more permanently.
So you send that, and you start heading back to the Brotherhood HQ, that at least the nearest one that you were dispensed from. And it takes about 20 minutes. No, actually, because it's like you said that at like 11 o'clock. So
it was 9:30 or 9:45 when we kicked off Operation Poltergeist
and
Grenade.
It took you like 20 minutes. 20 minutes. It took maybe 10 minutes for that to happen, but another 15 minutes to come back into town and figure out what happened back at the facility, that kind of stuff. So it's like 10:30, 11 o'clock when you send that. So you don't get an immediate response, but the next morning your phone starts blowing up. She is sending you message after message, like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I need to see the report before you file it. What do you? I was just, excuses and that kind of thing about why she was going to the thing and all this good stuff. And the practical upshot, because you know how to read between the lines and you've dealt with a lot of customer service, is that she was probably either embezzling funds by stealing, by taking gold from the warehouse, capital W warehouse, or she was getting paid on the side to do to mess with the Brotherhood's filing and that kind of thing by person or persons unknown, and you're not sure which, because it's hard to tell from her text, but that's the only reason you can think of for the panic texting of she needs to see the report before you file it.
Yeah, she doesn't. Does she actually need to see the report before I file it?
She's not your supervisor or any part of it, so yeah, you're not obligated to send her that report.
At first I was like, well, maybe she just had a bunch of savings and thought, no, I need to go to a diet resort because I have internalized all the fat phobia, and that's why I pitied her. But yeah, she's freaking out like this. It's not just self-consciousness. It's I did a bad. So I'm gonna then investigate I'm gonna suggest to the local team, yeah, I'm gonna start investigating the books because that's what I'm good at. And yeah, and I'm just gonna dime out that whole ridiculous place because it's like one asshole is imprisoning ghosts for funsies, which allowed someone else to imprison ghosts for funsies, and then she's embezzled, and I'm reporting on the whole nonsense thing. I'm just like, no.
Yep, your report goes straight to Oh
blowing
god.
up the bougie people helped, or blowing up their bougie retreat place helped my mood, but nah, don't fuck with me. Right?
Is it Epsilon or Sigma? I feel like it's Epsilon. Internal Affairs.
No, that's Iota.
Iota.
Iota, right,
That's my
okay.
friend, the ex-Iota agent, has the discipline. Iota, ask you a few questions.
Fair. Yep, so your report, you file it where you normally do, but when you check back like 20 minutes later, it's gone, and all that's left is pulled for Iota review.
You know what? Given that I can do this, I will just sort of send a copy to Fran. So this happened. Just in case anything should go wrong with my report. Just, you know.
Fair, you do so.
I did learn a lot of this shit from Fran. I was like, thanks, kid.
Yep. So, congratulations, you have solved the mystery.
We
Yaki.
fixed the snack machine.
Yes, you fixed the snack machine. That was
down the lab around it.
You fixed the snack machine. That was the whole point of this adventure. You fixed the
bullshit.
snack machine.
And that's
Because you're an Omega team, and it is your job to fix the snack machine.
Mm-hmm.
That's Demon Hunters, ladies and gentlemen, and other them. And gentle them. That's it. Ladies, gentlemen, gentle them.
Ladies, gaities, and thadies. No, I like thadies and gentle thems as well, but
Yeah.
So that has been Demon Hunters, a comedy of terrors. We hope that United you had as much fun as we did. I thought it was funny. Sorry we ran late.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm Merc. I don't really do much beyond this for myself. But I like watching Masters of the Metaverse It's no longer Masters of the Metaverse. It's now The Reliables on Mondays on the Zombie Orpheus channel. So you should watch it too. It's good. And they're back in studio, so it's so much better. And Helen has promised me that she will hit Christian on camera this week, so.
Okay, it is a bit late. I'm looking for someone to raid, but I am Ms. Chrysula, or I have been Kathy Blacksprit tonight. I'm usually here running Exit to Eden, which we haven't done in a few weeks because the Spoony Life plus vaccine side effects are rough. But next week we should be back, at least in the NWAD in space setting, if not Eden system itself, because actually the characters are now embarking on a new plot thread that is Exit from Eden. And instead being in a system run by space Vikings, they will be in a system possibly created by space Argonauts. That's the fun thing about space opera. I don't know what to name a thing. Wiki mythology. All the mythology. Okay, is there a Greek
It's
god of
reliable.
this? Woohoo! I'm not sure I'd say reliable, but helpful. A good jumping off point, as I am also
There
a
you go.
librarian.
Always.
But yes.
That's important.
So thank you again, Merc, for running game tonight, because that means I didn't have to. And going forward, as New York City opens up and I have to go back to an office job in a real office, I'm not sure I'll still have the spoons to run a game every Saturday night. So every other night would be a good thing to start, or every other Saturday. And yeah, so I'm at Ms. Chrysula on all the social medias. I do this all the time. And if you're talking to Magic Fish Radio on social media, you're probably talking to me. And if you have any interest in guesting on a Demon Hunters show, we are all for that. If you want to build your own character, if you want to use one from the big book of Zoe pre-gens, like, we are pretty flexible. Just
Depending on what the adventure is, you might be able to use one of my pre-gens that I set up for Omnicron 11.
Yep. Omnicron 11, the Honest to God chapter that is all sentient cars and is awesome. Let's put a Discord link in the chat. So yeah, join our Discord if you want to guest on our games, because we don't pay, but we are pretty like, do you have a webcam that works and a fairly okay internet connection, like, and you want to try this? Ask to try it out. We are pretty chill. So someone else, Vamp, or Shay, who are you? While I look for someone to raid.
I've
Claim
been
more to
playing
help.
Shay. I'm Dracus. I don't do a lot outside of here, although I have been posting art on my Instagram lately. Um, can find me on there as actual Dracus, and if you find me on Discord, I'm also actual Dracus. So, yeah.
Yep, and like that. So, Demon Hunters Comedy of Terrors is an RPG system designed by Zombie RPGs Entertainment. It's available on Drive-Thru RPG and why is it? I don't remember what the other one is. It's definitely available on Drive-Thru RPG. It's also available on the Fantasy Network store. It's definitely available there too. I believe there may actually still be some of the fancy ones left. I don't know that one for certain. It's a fairly good system for
Everything.
story. I was actually going to say, if you want to crunch, this isn't really crunch, but if you can set it up, right, you can roll every single dice that you own, straight up.
Yup.
Doesn't matter how many dice you actually own. You may, if you set it up right, end up rolling all of them on a single roll at some point.
Okay. I'm linking to the Demon Hunters website in the chat, and we are going to raid the Dice Cult, who are actually still playing. I checked. Woohoo!
Sounds good.
So yes, thank you for hanging out with us for a few hours. I hope we gave you an ample distraction for what has been a rough week for everyone, it sounds like. So yeah, watch our Twitter and our Discord for what we're doing. We also do crafty streams during the week. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And hopefully we'll see you in or near Exit to Eden next week. So